100 competitors.
Welcome to NWoR of Roblox. Today marks the first ever tournament.
4 stages.
Hello peoples, and welcome to NWoR of Roblox. Today marks the start of a very special tournament. It is the 10th tournament of NWoR of Roblox.
1 gold.
Hello peoples, and welcome to NWoR of Roblox. Today marks the start of the 14th tournament.
This is...
Hello peoples, Bubba Ace here, and welcome to the 18th tournament of NWoR of Roblox. Hello peoples, Bubba Ace here, and welcome to the 21st tournament of NWoR of Roblox. The tournament that was filmed in March of 2018, and the same tournament that celebrated the 5-year anniversary of the course. So to celebrate this special occasion, we're going to basically do what we do every tournament. Have 100 competitors attempt the 4-staged obstacle course with obstacles of increasing difficulty that will test the competitor's speed, skill, control, and confidence. Last tournament, we saw the final obstacle of Stage 3 be attempted for the first time since Tournament 14 by 2 competitors, one of which is now retired, and the other who unfortunately couldn't make it this tournament. Nevertheless, their success should pave the way to possibly see some new faces achieve that same feat and hopefully surpass it. But in order for them to have a chance, the competitors will have to take on their first test in Stage 1. The competitors that survive this test of speed and control will advance to Stage 2 with obstacles that will test their speed and skill. And those remaining will take on Stage 3 with obstacles that test competitors' control, skill, and confidence. And if anyone can survive those brutal obstacles, they'll advance to Stage 4, where they'll have to give it 110% in all 4 categories. It all begins on Stage 1, which has undergone a few changes from the last tournament. It begins with the 12 timbers, 12 wooden planks with varying angles and distance. Balance is key here. Then it's a new obstacle, the rolling cage, submitted by Sakeshi, replacing the long-lasting rolling boulder. Hop onto the cage and watch your balance as it rolls down the track. Then it's the Saturn. Jump onto the ring, run with it, jump over the hurdle, run with the rest of the ring, and make the dismount. The hurdle has been raised a bit from last time, making timing more essential. Then is the last of the new obstacles in Stage 1, the Shapeshifter, submitted by Zach Giraffe and replacing the spinning rings. Works in a similar manner, except the competitors are jumping on spinning shapes instead of specifically rings. Then it's on to arguably the most hated obstacle on Stage 1, the Jumping Spider. Jump onto the glass panel, climb up, jump forward the long distance pegs, climb down, and then dismount. This is the highest test of skill on Stage 1. Then it's the pendulum swing. Jump onto the swinging pendulums, make the distance, and make the small dismount that will lead you to the warped wall. You only have 3 seconds to beat that wall before the stopper respawns, forcing you to return to the start of the wall. After those back-to-back tests of control, you're on to the wing nuts, which will be the toughest test of control on Stage 1, as you'll need to find the right spot to get good swings to make the distance in between. Then you'll need a bigger swing to catch onto the final obstacle of Stage 1, the Cannonball Climb. And the competitors who can do all of that without touching the water and within 100 seconds will be worthy enough to advance to Stage 2. Let's get the 5-year anniversary tournament started by heading to the start, where competitor number 1 awaits. Kicking off this tournament is Frosty Mantle, formerly known as Abstract Time. She's making her second appearance on the course. She made her debut in Tournament 19, where she was one of the top 10 American Ninja Warrior Roblox competitors, and the only newcomer to be in that group. Last appearance, she went out on the first obstacle. Last tournament, she was a bonus runner. So here she was making her second official appearance on the course. Making great world of the 12 Timbers, and she doesn't get a jump off the 12th Timber and is out on the first obstacle for her second tournament in a row. Well, shoot. Next up is Should I Get Wrecked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I don't think you should get wrecked. I want you to do well on this course. Especially since you're the first newcomer this tournament competing in the special 5th year anniversary course. Anyway, got a minute 40. Kind of a slow start, but, you know, getting going, I guess. And past the 12 Timbers, and now he'll be the first competitor to attempt the rolling cage. I don't know if it's a he or she. Don't know, don't care. But past the rolling cage with no trouble at all, now for the Saturn. Has been made a little difficult since last time. And they get over this, they will not get over the hurdle, and will fall on the Saturn. Next up is regular 20Dan03, making his second appearance on the course. Made his debut in the last tournament after being a bonus runner in a couple previous tournaments. Last time out, he went out on the Saturn. Never got to say this before, but how are you guys digging the obstacle graphics? Kind of a callback from the very first tournament. I used them in the first 3. Thank you, Icardis, for this art. Well, Icardis and Brave, or Mr. Coolio as he goes by nowadays, for providing this. It's a great callback. Anyway, 2023 is past the Saturn. Just beat. Good. First competitor to take on the shapeshifter and has beaten it, and now for the jumping spider. Getting to climb up. Now for the walk section. Yeah, 2803 beat the obstacle that took him out last time and already passed it. Being the first competitor to take on the shapeshifter, beat it. Beat the jumping spider, now for the pendulum swing. Still has a lot of time left. Having a hard time getting the second pendulum swing, but now he does. And now for the warp wall. Can he get up this on his first attempt? Yes, he will! A lot of time left as he takes on the wing nuts. Can he get by him? Getting a pretty good swing on the first one. And onto the second one. After 30 seconds, still got time to clear. Can he do so? Gets to the third wing nut, and now he just got to catch onto the cannonball climb. And he does not, and he is out on the wing nuts. Next up is newcomer Among the Gaming. See what he does on his debut on the special 5th year anniversary course. Minute 40 seconds, 12 Timbers. Getting through them rather nicely. Not the fastest, but still pretty good. Rolling cage now. Can he get by this? Kind of stops before it gets to the end, but he does get by. Almost under shooting the dismount. Now for the Saturn. How will we handle this? Gets over the hurdle nicely. Now for the shapeshifter. How will we do here? Came through it nicely and rather quickly. Nice work. Now for the jumping spider. Got a minute left. Still a lot of time left. Gets onto it. Cameraman lost his flight ability. Wings got clipped or something. But Among the Gaming is out on the walk section of the jumping spider. Next up is the first veteran taking on the course, Glorp Juice, formerly known as Irrelevant Savage. He's making his third appearance on the course. Made his debut in Tournament 18 as II_Gamer935. Re-cleared Stage 1. Didn't compete in Tournament 19, but made his second appearance in the last tournament as Irrelevant Savage, where he timed out on the wing nuts. Mainly because he didn't know what the time limit was. Well, hopefully he knows the time limit for this Stage 1, this tournament. Hopefully he can go much faster. Ooze already making great work of the course. He's already passed the shapeshifter and still got over a minute left. So he's already doing really well. quickly onto the jumping spider. Gets the climb nicely. Now for the walk across. Taking a bit of a cautious jump. Almost undershoots that jump. And we climb down. He's past it. Still over 50 seconds as he takes on the pendulum swing. And the first swing. Onto the second. And he's past it. Now for the wart wall. He's got loads of time to take on this, but it gets him in his first attempt. Alright, still got a lot of time for the wing nuts now. Can he get by him? Yep. Gets onto the second wing nut. Not the best swing of the first one, but still good enough to catch the second wing nut. Onto the third one now. Can he get onto the cannonball climb? Gotta get a good enough swing. Still got time. He's onto the cannonball climb. Now he's gotta climb up. Second. No, he doesn't get the jump onto the third cannonball and undershoots it. And Glorpjuice is out on the cannonball climb. So close, but just couldn't get a good grip. Next up is Nexcree. Figure making her third appearance on the course. Made her debut in Tournament 17 as Nexcree. Went out on the panel flips. Didn't be the next two tournaments, but returned the last tournament with the current name. Went on the pendulum swing. And can she get back to it and get revenge on it? No, she won't. She will become the first victim of the rolling cage. It's not looking good for the female competitors right now. But again, that was only two. Hopefully the later ones will improve on that down the road. But anyway, we gotta move on with our next competitor, newcomer at Hisimol. I apologize if I mispronounced it. He's got his shot at the course. And I believe he is also the creator of like Sasuke Dynamite or something like that. Feel free to correct me on that if I'm wrong. Well, anyway. Really nice course. I recommend checking it out. But anyway, it's on the course. Nicely through the rolling cage. Good dismount. Onto the cider now. Gets over the hurdle. Bit of bump there, but he's past it now. Now for the shapeshifter. Ooh, a little bit dangerous on the triangle and kind of on the circle there, but he's still past it. Less than a minute though as he takes on the jumping spider. He's still got time to clear stage 1, but he might want to consider picking up the pace if he hopes to clear stage 1. Anyway, he's getting through the jumping spider nicely, and he's past it. Approaching 45 seconds, he takes on the pendulum swing, and he loses his grip on the first pendulum and he's out. Next up is veteran DogsRock67, making his 6th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 16, where he fell on the Pillars of Doom. Cleared Stage 1 in Tournament 17, but has done progressively worse since then, as he's failed the Slippery Laws in Tournament 18, became one of the 10 American Ninja War Roblox competitors in Tournament 19, went out on the jumping spider that tournament, and then he failed the Saturn in the last tournament. So, well, he's back to the Saturn, so could he get progressively further? Oh, he doesn't get over the hurdle, and he fails to land back onto the ring, and he's out on the Saturn for his second tournament in a row. Now we have, hey, it's Aussie Zero, regular, making his grand return to the course, back for his 7th appearance. He made his debut back in Tournament 5, and has competed in every tournament since then, up until Tournament 10, missing out on Tournament 6. He last competed all the way back in Tournament 13, where he fell on the rolling boulder. His personal best is the 4th obstacle, which was on his debut, and that obstacle was the danger climb. But since then, he's never gotten past the 3rd obstacle. Now he's back and he's on the 3rd obstacle. Can he get past it and tie for his personal best at least? No, he will not. He'll fail to get over the hurdle, and he's yet another victim of the Saturn. But nice to see this dude running again. Next up is another longtime competitor, regular John Cheat, back making his 5th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 12, and has competed in every tournament since then, up until Tournament 16, only missing out on Tournament 13. And Tournament 16 is where he not only last time he competed, but where he also achieved his personal best, which was the jumping spider. He's onto the rolling cage now and having a hard time getting it rolling. Now he's got it rolling now, and just barely, and he falls through the gap and he's out on the rolling cage. How unfortunate. And now we have another competitor making his grand return to the course. It is S-Cakes, veteran making his 4th appearance on the course. Made his debut in Tournament 16, where he fell in the Pillars of Doom. His personal best came in Tournament 17, where he became the first competitor to defeat the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger and attempt Trust Junction. He last appeared in Tournament 18, where he fell in the 1st obstacle, should be obvious that it's his personal worst. Anyway, he's back now. Let's hope, well, he's already done better than he did in his last appearance. Can he improve upon it? Well, obviously, but how far can he go? Past the rolling cage? How about the Saturn? Can he get past this? Doesn't get over the hurdle, and he's not going to catch back onto the ring, and he's out on the Saturn. Following that, 8 more competitors took to the course, 7 of them being newcomers. First was Master Crafter, who was a bit out of shape on the Shapeshifter, thus becoming its first victim. Then the focus shifted to one spiky blue shell, who also went out on the Shapeshifter. Then 3 straight jumping spider fails by Koinaigse_CCR, sorry if I mispronounced it. Luke Aggressive, who seemed to be too aggressive and went out the spout. And regular football fan 0506, who at least got past the 12 timbers, which is where he failed last time. Then the one competitor who didn't do any better than S-Cakes, the Ninja Guy G4, was the next guy to leave the cage into the water. Then Awesome Tarantula wasn't so awesome on the wing nuts, as he didn't get a good enough swing on the third wing nut to catch onto the cannonball climb. And finally, Elevator Man 69255 seemed like taking the elevator up the cannonball climb, but went down instead. So that's now 19 attempts on the course, and no clears. Moving on to competitor number 20, this is newcomer Addison Judah. You all know him, so let's just see how he does on his debut. He's gonna have a minute 40 to get from the start line all the way to the goal, the end of stage 1. See if he gets there. Alright, his time begins. He's onto the 12 timbers. Bit of a laggy run, but, you know, recording studios can be dumb sometimes. And now he's starting to pick up the pace after a pretty slow start. Sure is taking his time with these jumps. But as long as he gets by, there he goes. Now he's onto the rolling cage. He's not going very fast at all, so probably not going to clear stage 1, especially since he's having a hard time moving the rolling cage. We're just getting it to roll, and he ends up falling off the gap anyway, and he's out. Now at the start line is veteran Zach Giraffe, making his 7th appearance on the course, and he's the competitor who submitted the Shapeshifter. He's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 15 under the name Zachary6835. He changed his name to what it is now in Tournament 18. New course, new name, I suppose. Anyway, he cleared stage 1 for the first time in his career in the last tournament, and with the fastest time in stage 1. Considering who cleared stage 1 that tournament, and the time left over, that's saying a lot. Now on to the Saturn. Oh, he's not getting over the hurdle, and he's not gonna beat the Saturn, and he's out early on stage 1. And he's not even gonna get a chance to attempt his own obstacle, which would have followed this one. Zach Giraffe, the fastest stage 1 clear from last tournament, goes out on the Saturn of all obstacles. He hasn't failed the 3rd obstacle since his debut, but thankfully it's not his personal worst. But man, the Saturn is really doing some damage early on in this tournament, as it has now eliminated 3 of this course's veterans so far. Next up is newcomer Pete the Cat 1. Hopefully no relation to the actual Pete the Cat, but I digress. Totally gonna ignore Ryder Langle dancing on one of the trusses on the final tower there in the background, and focus on this guy instead. Let's see how he does on his minute 40 on the course. Getting through the 12 timbers rather nicely, and he's through them. Rolling cage now. Let's see how he does. Got it rolling nicely. And he's off it nicely. Well done. Now for the Saturn. Can he get past this? Gotta wait for the ring to catch up to him, and now running with it. Gets over the hurdle, jumping around, and he is beating it. Now for the Shapeshifter. Getting through that nicely. Ooh, a bit dangerous on the circle there, but he's past the Shapeshifter, and now minute left onto the jumping spider. Catches onto it. Gets the climb up, and now for the walk across. Not going too quickly, but not too slowly either. But quickly on the climb down. And now for the pendulum swing. Get by this. Yes, he will. And a bit of a backwards jump, as he's heading onto the warped wall. Can't get up on his first attempt. Can he get up on his second attempt? Nope. He's still got time. He's got 30 seconds. He can still clear if he gets up on this attempt. Alright, he's going to have time for one more attempt. If he gets up here, which he does, now he should have time to clear stage 1. But he's got to get some good swings on these wing nuts and hope that they don't cut him off. Gets a good swing on the first one. How about the second? Yes, he does. Alright, third swing now. 10 seconds left. The klaxon is sounding. Gonna want to hurry. He's onto the cannonball climb. Gotta climb up this quickly. A bit of a sideways jump to it. But he just barely clears the first stage with less than a second left. And Pete the Cat 1 has become the first competitor this tournament to clear stage 1. And for the 11th tournament in a row, we will have at least one newcomer on stage 2. Pete attempted this first stage as if he had been doing it his entire life. It was a bit sketchy on the Saturn, and a bit of a close call near the end of the shapeshifter. Not to mention, it took him 4 attempts to get up the warped wall, but he had the time to do it. And strangely enough, he used shift lock to climb up the cannonball climb, which is weird, but it worked out, and he just barely punched his ticket to stage 2. Well done to this newcomer. Well now, we're 22 runs into this tournament, and we have our first clear. And it's a newcomer of all things. I'll take it. But we're just getting started. Let's see who could be the next competitor to clear stage 1 this tournament. Now at the start line, borrowing my Roblox course intro dance without my permission, is regular Soccer Dude 2005. He's making his second appearance on the course. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the rolling boulder. Rolling boulder's no longer around, so if he wants a new personal best, he's going to have to clear the obstacle that took its place, or I guess its successor, whatever, the rolling cage. Quickly through the 12 timbers. Now for the rolling cage. If he gets past this, it'll be a new personal best for him. And it rolling nicely. And he's past it, so there's a new personal best for him. Y'all know he wants to do better than that. Can he get past the Saturn? Yes, he will. Wings of Redemption right there. Anyway, now for the shapeshifter. Can he get by this? Yes, he will. Does it with no problem. Now for the jumping spider. How we do here? Catches onto it, gets the climb up, and now for the walk across. And I guess his wings hindered his sight because he couldn't see the distance between that brick and the other on the walk section of the jumping spider. And as usual, the jumping spider continues to be a thorn on one side. But the next man up is a competitor who's looking to be the third competitor to clear stage 1 for 5 consecutive tournaments. Now on the course is veteran Bryce_Bry. He's making his 5th appearance on the course. He made his debut in the final tournament to be hosted on the old Roblox terrain, where he cleared stage 1 with the second fastest time. On the new terrain, he proved that his success wasn't a fluke, as he cleared stage 1 again in the following tournament, with ironically the second slowest stage 1 time, but he at least achieved a personal best by getting to the peg jump. He's continued to clear stage 1 since then, becoming the only competitor to clear stage 1 in every tournament to be hosted on the new terrain. Now he's back, hoping to keep that streak alive, join Faripu and Aussie Bro in the 5 consecutive stage 1 clears club, and hopefully get revenge on the triple salmon ladder. Let's see if he can get back there. First, he's got to get past stage 1. 11 minutes 40 seconds to get there. Starting with the 12 timbers. Hasn't really caused a whole lot of trouble this tournament, aside from the very first runner. Anyway, Bryce quickly passed the 12 timbers. That's a good start. Now for the rolling cage. Get by this. Went nicely. And he's past it. Now for the Saturn. Can he get over this? Has been in trouble so far this turn, especially the veterans. Oh no, he's having hard to get over the hurdle, and he bounces off the hurdle, fails to catch onto the ring, and for the first time in his career, Bryce has fallen on the first stage. And his stage 1 clear streak has been ruined by the Saturn. And now the Saturn has claimed its 4th veteran this tournament. Well, after that disappointment, the next 8 competitors took to the course. First was newcomer Duckmaster 11211, who joined Frosty Mantle among those who failed the 12 timbers. Next was newcomer Reed the Shadow, who was likely sent to the Shadow Realm after going out on the Shapeshifter. Then regular the Ginger Chris achieved a personal best by getting to the Jumping Spider before being washed out by the rain. Newcomer Power Jaden also became the spider that went up the water spout and ended up being washed out by a power washer. Regular Evil Denax was able to have a rematch with the Jumping Spider after failing to get there last tournament, but was quickly reminded that it was his old friend Darkness. Newcomer Lucky Boy 10,000 was certainly lucky enough to get to the Jumping Spider, but nowhere near lucky enough to get past the walk section. Then regular generic Walmart became a tough nut to crack, as he also achieved a personal best by getting to the wing nuts, but cracked there. As was newcomer Weird William 999, who is anything but weird, but was still cracked by the wing nuts. And so far, the Saturn proves to be a veteran's worst nightmare this tournament, as Glorp Juice is the only veteran to get past it. Now up is regular Chase the Rider 299, formerly known as Chasin' Kane 299, making his 3rd appearance on the course. And it looks like he's ready to go. So come on, let's cut to the chase. No, not that one. This one. Yeah, like I said, he's making his 3rd appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 15, then he missed out on the next 4 tournaments, then returned in the last tournament, where he achieved a personal best by getting to the pendulum swing. On his debut, he failed the first obstacle, which is going by quickly on this tournament. Well done. Now for rolling cage, how will he approach this? Oh, he's going to take on straight forward. Not the best way to do it, but it works. Kylan's in between the dismount and the next platform space. But it doesn't matter because there's no water there, and he fails to get over the hurdle on the Saturn, and he's out on it. And now behind the start line is newcomer Free MMO Direct, one of them bacon hair competitors. I don't know why there's a bacon hair competitor on the course, let alone this tournament. Maybe he shows potential. Anyway, let's see how he does. Bit of a laggy run at the start. I guess as long as he gets by the course, it doesn't matter. Just kind of annoying, really, but he gets through the 12 timbers, so good start. Now for the rolling cage. And he's past it. Now for the Saturn, how we do here. Gets over the hurdle. Now he's on the Shapeshifter, how we doing this? Gets through it nicely, well done. He's going fast on the course. That's a good sign. Quickly onto the Jumping Spider. Climbs up the climbs up nicely. Now for the walk section. Taking his time preparing each jump, but still going pretty fast. Quickly climbs down, and now onto the pendulum swing. Still got over 50 seconds left. On the second pendulum, and here's through the pendulum swing. He's got a lot of time left as he takes on the warped wall. Gets up on his first attempt. My goodness, he is going fast on this course. He doesn't just want to clear stage 1, he wants that top time. And at the pace he's going, he just may end up getting the fastest time. Alright, he's onto the third wing nut now. Less than 30 seconds now. Gets a good swing, catches onto the cannonball climb. And he climbs up it quickly, and Free is going to be the second newcomer this tournament to clear stage 1. The time shows exactly 20 seconds, but because the timer started a little too soon, I'm going to add 0.7 seconds to his clear time. So he's actually going to clear with 20.7 seconds left. But yeah, he basically blazed through the course. He took the forward approach on the rolling cage, but it worked out. The only obstacle he slowed down on was the jumping spider, not wanting to make a costly mistake, but despite that, he still had more than enough time to clear with more than 20 seconds left, especially since he only needed one attempt to get up the warped wall, and he took no more than 3 swings on each of the wing nuts. And the first 2 Stage 1 clears this tournament are newcomers. Not that I'm complaining. Now 34 competitors who've run the course, and despite the few changes in Stage 1, the newcomers are really showing up, as some of them have done well this tournament, and 2 of them are moving on to Stage 2, while the top competitors who've run so far have gone out early, aside from Glorp Juice. Speaking of top competitors, before we move on to Runner 35, let's take a look at this tournament's Final 5 lineup. Veteran Daniel Icewolf RBLX is a potential all-star in the making, as he's finished in the top 5 in 3 of his last 4 appearances, after being a typical regular in his first 10 appearances on the course. Being a former Roblox Ninja course host probably helped shape him up into being a top competitor. He'll be runner 96 this tournament. Clever Ninjas is the only competitor who's competed in every single tournament. That achievement, as well as his success on the early days of this course, is why he's still an all-star. His last 3 appearances haven't gone how he wanted them to, but he's hoping to change all that this tournament. He'll be runner 97. An Epic Reshiram has finished in the top 3 in the last 2 tournaments, including first place in Tournament 19. He's become the newest addition to the All-Stars. Now he'll have to prove that he deserves that rank, as he'll make his debut as an all-star this tournament. He'll be runner 98. Some call him the Speed Demon, some call him the purple-haired kangaroo, others just call him Aussie Bro. Regardless of what you call him, there's no denying his success on this course, including the longest Stage 1 clear streak and the most Stage 1 clears of all time. His streak was broken in the last tournament, unfortunately, but he won't let that stop him from proving that he has what it takes to go all the way. He's hoping to bounce back this tournament, and he'll be runner 99. And last but not least is Faripu. After missing out on the last tournament, he's back and hoping to get back on track and advance to Stage 3 for the first time since Tournament 14. Because of his dedication to the real-life ninja community, he's currently the leader of the All-Stars on this course, and he'll be this tournament's Mr. 100. Now behind the start line is veteran the Noobish Camper, who's making his 7th appearance on the course. He's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 14. Last tournament, however, he was a bonus runner. Of course, you know already, I don't count bonus runs as official appearances. Just want to bring it up because at least he did show up last tournament. There was a bonus run. I guess the last official appearance was in Tournament 19, where he cleared Stage 1 for the 2nd time in his career. Both times he got to Stage 2, he went out on the triple salmon ladder. so we can bet there this time around. But he's onto the Saturn. This has not been a veteran's friend this tournament. Will he be the next veteran to go out on it? Oh, he's having a hard time getting over the hurdle, but he gets up on his second try, catches up with the ring, and he has beaten the Saturn. He will not go out on it, and he joins Glorjuice among the veterans who've beaten so far this tournament. And the shapes didn't exactly shift on the shapeshifter. It's still an interesting attempt, but anyway, he's past it and on to the jumping spider. Slow approach onto it. And taking his time on it, but his time is starting to wither, so he may want to pick up the pace a bit if he hopes to clear stage 1 for a second turn in a row and third time overall. Anyways, on the pendulum swing, still got time. First pendulum, and he undershoots the jump to the second pendulum, does not get a good swing off the first one, and is out on stage 1 again. And now we have a regular on the course. This is Mikki Slays, making his second appearance. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he was the first competitor to go out on the 12 Timbers. They are back this tournament, so if he can get past him this time around, it'll be a personal best. Let's just see how he does. He's got 100 seconds. Going through him quickly. I can't remember if he was going that fast last time. And he's past him. It's a personal best. We're going to skip ahead onto the warped wall. He's still got a lot of time left. And he gets up on his first attempt. Well done. He's got plenty of time to clear stage 1. Got to get some good swings on the wing nuts. Gets a good one on the first one. He's on the second one now. 30 seconds. Gets a good one to the third one. Now he's got to get a good swing onto the cannonball climb. Can he do so? He's got to get a few extra swings. He got to cut off a bit. And he ends up undershooting the transition to the cannonball climb. And he is out. A good transition from going out in the first obstacle in the last tournament to the last obstacle in the following tournament. The next 6 competitors didn't do any better. First was Aaron Ralph, who had returned for his 7th appearance after last competing in Tournament 17. And the course certainly didn't miss wiping him out early as he went out on the Saturn. Then another regular, who hadn't competed in a while, Cyan Dude 858, after last competing in Tournament 18, was relieved to finally get past the first obstacle in what felt like forever, only to then tie his personal best by going out on the walk section of the jumping spider at the exact same spot. Newcomer Stampy the Hero was certainly looking like the hero of this story as he got to the warped wall with plenty of time left, but unfortunately, he couldn't figure out how to get up it, became the first competitor of this tournament to time up on it, and get stamped out after giving up near the end. Witters made his 13th appearance on the course, hoping that 13 would be his lucky number, but it turned out to be unlucky, as he would for the second tournament in a row go out on the jumping spider. Newcomer Adam X Swag certainly had swag, but that didn't translate to speed, as he went pretty slow on the course, which only got worse as it took him 4 attempts to get up the warped wall, and eventually time up on the wing nuts. Then finally, newcomer Ninja Warrior 11111111 finally got his long-awaited shot at the course, only to botch it up on the 12 Timbers. Next up is a veteran who's no stranger to failing the 12 Timbers, as he did so last tournament, obviously. It's Ninjas for the Win 64. He's back making his 11th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 7 under the name Rotting Chris. He changed his name to what is now in Tournament 12, and now he's just going. Anyway, he cleared Stage 1 for his first and only time in Tournament 13. Since then, he's shown it to be a fluke, as the farthest he's ever gotten since then was the jumping spider in Tournament 17. Well, at least now he's past the 12 Timbers, so he won't make the same mistake he did last time, even though he did go pretty slowly on it. And a bit of a slow dismount on the rolling cage, but he's through it. Now for the Saturn. Can he get by this? Yes, he will. He will not be the next veteran to go out on it. He'll be the 3rd veteran to clear it. Now he's on to the Shapeshifter. And he gets by that. He's down less than a minute. He can still clear, but he may want to pick up the pace. Now he's onto the jumping spider. Catches onto it. Now for the climb up. And the walk across. And he undershoots the jump to that second glass ledge on the walk section. Now up is newcomer Rock and Roll Guitar. donning the Aussie Pro purple Rubik's Cube shirt. So might as well start pressing charges for people who steal his shirt. Anyway, let's see if that shirt will get him through the course. I mean, it did work. It worked for Aussie Bro. Well, these guys are the last tournament. Well, anyway. Well, definitely not putting on the speed demon on Persona, because he went through... Well, he got by the 12 timbers, but rather very slowly. He doesn't look like he knows what to do in the rolling cave. But now he's on it, got it rolling. And he's past it. And now for the Saturn. Gotta wait for the ring to catch up. Now he gets onto it. Can he get over the hurdle? Yes, he will. Very nicely. And he makes the dismount. Now for the shapeshifter. Down to less than a minute. Gets through by this pretty quickly. Almost undershoots the dismount there. And now he's onto the jumping spire with only 50 seconds left. And he's pausing for a second. I don't know why he does that. He caught up the jumping spire. Quickly climbs up. And he's not going clear through the walk across. I not expect him to clear stage 1 at this point, as he's taking his time preparing each jump. I guess as long as he goes pretty far, it doesn't really matter. But he's only down to 30 seconds, now he's on the pendulum swing. He's not going to have time to clear stage 1 at this point, but it'll be interesting to see how far he can go. So he's definitely got the Aussie Pro shirt, but not the Aussie Pro speed. And he ends up undershooting the dismount on the pendulum swing anyway, so it didn't really matter. Now up is regular Dino 4564, making his 4th appearance on the course. Last tournament, he achieved a personal best by getting to the wing nuts, which was enough to help him finish in the top 20. Let's see how he does this time. Quickly getting past the 12 timbers, and he's past it. Now for the rolling cage. And... did he seriously think he could just walk onto the cage? The gap in between isn't just there to prevent the cage from getting stuck on the platform after all. Let's just move on. Well, that was... something. Anyway, next up is regular Euxinator, who's making his 2nd appearance on the course. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he fell in the spinning rings. The spinning rings are no longer around, so if he wants a new personal best, he's not only got to get past the first 3 obstacles, but get past its successor, the Shapeshifter. Anyway, got through the 12 timbers quickly and nicely. Now for the rolling cage. Got it rolling nicely. Kind of a slow roll down, but he still passed it, and now for the Saturn. Take care of this. He's not getting over the hurdle, and he failed to do so, and he is falling on the Saturn. Step backwards from how he did last time. And now up is the champion of my favorite tournament. Next up is veteran Look 1456, making his landmark 10th appearance on the course. He made his debut back in Tournament 8, where he didn't do any better than most of the competitors did that tournament. He missed out on the following 2 tournaments, but came back in Tournament 11 with a bang. He became the first competitor to clear Stage 1 that tournament, and he surprisingly ended up finishing that tournament in 3rd place. He struggled to get back there afterwards, even achieving his personal worst in Tournament 13. But in Tournament 14, he did what no one else could in this era. He became the first competitor of this era to clear Stage 3 and attempt the final stage. While he failed to achieve total victory, he became determined to get back to the final stage and reach the goal. But the goal continuously became out of reach, as he's failed to clear Stage 1 ever since, taking 1 step backwards on each attempt, including going out on the jumping spider in his last 2 appearances. Now let's see if his determination will finally pay off on his landmark 10th appearance, or end in disappointment. He'll have 100 seconds to get to that tower in the background. And his time begins. First of the 12 timbers. He had no problem with his last tournament, though I think he did go a little slowly last time. Definitely getting through him. Whether he did or didn't, he definitely get by through last time, did it? Head press on the pause on 12 timber. I guess didn't want to fail the dismount or something. Got to the top of the rolling cage. It's okay if you do that by accident, but if you try clearing the obstacle that way, it's a disqualification. He didn't do that and gets through the rolling cage with no trouble. Now for the Saturn. Can he get by this? Oh, he's having a hard time getting over the hurdle. What the heck? Did he just go under the hurdle? I'll have to take a look at that afterwards, but wow. Well, having a little trouble with the shapeshifter, but he gets by it. It's quite a good save there. Down the list of the minis, onto the jumping spire. He's still got time. This is his nemesis from the last 2 tournaments. Catches onto it, now for the climb up. Well done. Can he get the walk across? Taking some safe jumps, which is good. He might want to pick up the pace if he hopes to get back to the second stage. When he climbed down, he's past it. Less than 40 seconds, he takes on the pendulum swing. And onto it, he's onto the second one. And he's cleared it. 30 seconds, ward wall. He's going to want to get up this in 1 or 2 attempts. Oh, he doesn't get on his first attempt. He's going to want to get into this attempt. He goes to clear stage 1. He fails it. And unfortunately, he's not going to have time to get back to second stage. But he does finally get up on his 3rd attempt. And now for the wing nuts. He's going to run out of time, but I didn't falls off first. Klaxon sounds. And he ends up undershooting the transition to the second wing nut. And he is out. He was going to fail him anyway because his timer's running out. But still a good effort, and great to see Luke get so close yet again. But real quick, before we move on, let's take another look at that attempt on the Saturn. Doesn't get over the hurdle, and yeah, somehow he managed to squeeze by it, or I guess get under the hurdle. Didn't think that was possible with its current design, but it worked. So even though he went on stage 1 yet again, I don't consider that a disappointment. Can't speak on his behalf though. From one veteran to another, this is Sonic_DJs, making his 12th appearance on the course. He's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 10. He first competed under the name Sonic DJ 58A, until he changed it to The Sonic DJs in Tournament 13, which is where he began clearing Stage 1 and achieving a personal best in the following tournament. He changed it to what it is now in Tournament 15, and hasn't cleared Stage 1 since. He's gotten close in Tournaments 17 and 18, but in the last 2 tournaments, he went out on the jumping spider. And he's got a good start. He's on to the Saturn now. He's going over a 4th of his time, but I digress. Couldn't go over this Saturn hurdle on the first jump, but does on the second, and he's cleared the Saturn. Not going to be the next veteran to go out on it. Shapeshifter now. Has no trouble with that. He's down to less than a minute. He can still clear, but he might want to consider picking up the pace. But then again, he is onto the jumping spider, an obstacle he's failed in the last 2 tournaments. So he knows that he can't rush this. I mean, he can, just not be too reckless. Whatever. Well, I went too slow on it. It's down to 40 seconds, so he can still clear. He's on the pendulum swing. And oh, he's going to need an extra swing on that second pendulum, but he gets the dismount. He's down to 30 seconds. He may want to get by in his first attempt to have a shot. He does! So now he has a chance to clear. He's on the wing nuts now. Gotta get some good swings on these. Gets a good swing off the first one. Well done. And now can he get a good swing off the second one? Yes, he will! He's on the third one now. Can he get onto the cannonball climb? Yes, he will. The klaxon sounds. Slowing down the climb. Doesn't want to slip up. He gets to the top. And Sonic clears the first stage with 2 seconds left, which is going to be deducted to 1.5 seconds because the timer started later than it was supposed to. But nevertheless, he's cleared Stage 1 for the first time since Tournament 14. He wasn't going too fast, but not too slow either. Couldn't get over the hurdle in the Saturn on his first jump, but still had some space to back up and tried a second time, and he got over it. He approached the jumping spider pretty cautiously, wasn't too reckless on it, but still got through it in pretty good time. He needed an extra swing on the second pendulum swing to clear it, but he did so. It all came down to whether he can get up the warped wall in 1 attempt, and he did. And he made the wing nuts look easy, despite the obvious lag. But he pulled through, and Sonic has punched his ticket to Stage 2 for the first time as Sonic_DJs. Welcome back. now we have our first veteran of the tournament moving on to stage 2. Let's keep things going with another regular. It's Giant Froggy 05, making his 4th appearance on the course. He's never gotten past the 4th obstacle. He got there on his debut in Tournament 15, and on his last appearance in Tournament 18. Second appearance, he went out on the first obstacle. Let's see how we do on the new first obstacle. It's different from the one he faced in Tournament 18. Getting through him quite quickly, and he's passed it. Well done. Now for the rolling cage. Got it rolling. A little wobbly, but he gets by. Now for the Saturn. Can he get past this? Onto it. Gets over the hurdle. Kind of hesitated with the approach, but gets over it, and he's through the obstacle. Now for the shapeshifter. Can he get by this? Yes, he will. Does a different technique from what we've seen so far, but he's past this. This is a new personal best, and he doesn't even get a jump off the trampoline on the jumping spider. It's the new personal best. Now we're on to competitor number 50. This is regular Kairu XYZ, making his 3rd appearance on the course. And neither that name nor avatar seem familiar. Well, he's formerly known as Zico Gaming 01. He made his debut back in Tournament 17, and the last time he competed was back in Tournament 18. So it may have something to do with that fact he hasn't competed in a while as to why he doesn't seem familiar. And on both his appearances, he went out on the rolling boulder. And just as I say that, he's gotten a new personal best by beating the successor of the rolling cage. And can't follow it up by getting past the Saturn. Well, we're halfway through stage 1. And in a surprising turn of events, it's mostly the newcomers who've really rose to the challenge of this course, while only a handful of experienced competitors are doing so. But now we'll have to see if this next experienced competitor and the other experienced competitors down the road can do the same. And kicking off the halfway point of stage 1 is regular Icardes, making his 17th overall appearance on the course and his 10th appearance as Icardes. He is also the run editor for this tournament. Thankful for that. Anyway, he competed in his first 8 appearances as Nice Cat 9009. He changed his name to what it is now in Tournament 10 and has competed that way ever since. He competed in almost every tournament since his debut, only missing tournaments 16 and 17. He's going pretty slow in the 12 timbers. He's now gotten by them. He killed almost 20 seconds on that obstacle. Anyway, he achieved a new personal best last tournament, getting to the wing nuts. Or, bumming into the backside of the second wing nut. Anyway, onto the Saturn now. Can get by this. But we can't get over the hurdle, and he is going to fall on the Saturn. A big step back from how he did last time. Next up is newcomer NASCAR Zoom 44. Never thought we'd get a racer on the course. You know, NASCAR. So let's see if we can race his way to the finish line of stage 1. And I hope he lives up to his name with the zoom, as he'll hit the zoom his way past his obstacles. At least that's what I'm expecting. Well, it's already a promising start. Got past the 12 timbers pretty quickly. Doing a little over 10 seconds, but still. Ooh, going fast on the rolling cage. Or at least, looked faster compared to the other attempts on it. And he was past it, and now for the Saturn. Easily over the hurdle. And is past it, and now for the shapeshifter. Well, so far he's definitely living up to his name, the NASCAR Zoom, because he is zooming past these obstacles. Okay, the question is, if he clears, will he beat, free MMO Direct's time? Now he's past the jumping spider, so he's looking good. Now for the pendulum swing. And he's quickly past that. Well done. Now for the warp wall. How will he do here? Gets up on his first attempt. He's got 40 seconds. He has a chance to get that top time as long as he gets some good swings on these wing nuts. He's going to have to take some extra swings to get by him, but he's getting through him. So unfortunately, he's not going to get the top time, but he can still be the 3rd newcomer to clear stage 1 this tournament. Really struggling in the wing nuts. Managed to catch to the top of the 3rd wing nut, but he managed to drop back down to it. It's not disqualification because he didn't touch the top truss. That's the truss support. But anyways, onto the cannonball climb, coming kind of slowly. And can he beat the Clarkson? No, he will not, but he will still clear the first stage with a little over 8 seconds left, which is still good for the 2nd fastest time so far. He looked comfortable running these obstacles, getting through them quickly and efficiently. He had a chance to get the fastest time on stage 1, but got a bit tangled up on the wing nuts. He couldn't beat the klaxon, but he still becomes the 3rd newcomer this tournament to clear stage 1. Next up is regular Asama Shime. I'm probably never going to get the pronunciation of that name correct, and I deeply apologize. But anyway, he's now making his 6th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 10 under the name John the Great 8000. He's been competing on and off since then, but this is now his 3rd straight appearance on the course, not counting his bonus run appearances. He changed his name to what is now in the last tournament, and at one point he was a bonus runner with the name John the Ninja 8000. Now here he is under this name. And throughout his career, he's never gotten past the 3rd obstacle. Let's see if he can make a difference this time. Past the rolling cage, and now for the Saturn. Can he get past this? Oh, he can't get over the hurdle, and the answer is no. This is not the tournament in which he'll get past the 3rd obstacle for the first time in his career. And now we have newcomer and Drastical. A lot of you probably know who this competitor is nowadays, but around this time I don't think many people did know. So let's just pretend we're back in that time period where not many people knew who this guy was. Let's see how he does on his first ever appearance on the course. Get past the 12, or he got past the 12 timbers quickly and nicely. And now for the rolling cage. Got it rolling nicely. And he's past it. Now for the Saturn. Going at a slightly faster pace than NASCAR Zoom, but not going to get the same result. From one newcomer to another, this is Piscod123. I don't know how you pronounce that, but anyway, let's see how he does. A little laggy start, but got a good pace going. Getting past the 12 timbers nicely. Not the fastest, but not the slowest either. Now for the rolling cage. Rolling nicely. We've got a bit stuck near the end of the track there, but gets it through and kind of walks off the edge. Just mount there. And now for the Saturn. Gets over the hurdle. And he is going to clear the Saturn. Now for the Shapeshifter. Looked a bit uncomfortable on that obstacle, but he still gets by. Down in less than a minute, and now he's on the Jumping Spider. Quickly onto it. Now we're gonna climb up, and now can he get the walk across? Ooh, almost undershoots that jump there. And almost undershoots that one. He's barely hanging on. But quickly climbs down, and he's past it. Less than 40 seconds. He still has time to clear, but he's gonna want to pick up the pace. Oh, he got caught on the first pendulum swing, but now he got swinging. He's barely caught to the second one. He's struggling to get that one swinging. Oh, it's not looking good. I don't think he's gonna have enough time to clear now. Especially since they can't get the second pendulum moving. There he goes. I don't know what would happen if the pendulum malfunctioned or he just didn't move forward. Either way, he got the one on his first attempt, but yeah, unfortunately the klaxon is going to sound. So unfortunately he's not going to clear stage 1, but let's see if, I don't know. Let's just see how it does in the wing nuts. Well, it doesn't matter. His time expires, so it didn't really matter. Alright, let's take another look at the pendulum swing. You can see he climbed up a bit on that first pendulum, but he got back down and struggled for a couple of seconds to get it to swing. But now let's see on the second pendulum. Did it malfunction, or something else? Oh, I see. He didn't quite trigger that mechanic that allows the pendulum to swing forward. You have to be about halfway on either edge of each pendulum to activate them. But if you look closely, he didn't quite get halfway, and because of that, he ate up what little time he had left to possibly clear stage 1. That's unfortunate, but hopefully he'll learn from that and be back next time. Now we're on to regular Gravitations, making his second appearance on the course. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the spinning rings. They've been replaced with the shapeshifter this tournament, so he's going to have to get past those if he wants to achieve a new personal best. Of course, he's going to have to get to them first before he even has a shot. Making quick work of the 12 timbers. Now, almost undershot the dismount. Having a hard time getting onto the rolling cage, but now he's onto it and got it rolling nicely. Been all over the place, but he almost looks like he just barely gets the dismount. But now he's onto the Saturn. Gets over the hurdle quite nicely, and he's past it. Now for the shapeshifter. Can he beat this and get a new personal best? The circle, and no, he will not. He looked like he put a little too much of a spin onto the circle and tried to rush the dismount without letting the circle tilt forward a bit and undershot the dismount. And for the second tournament in a row, he's out on the 4th obstacle. Next up is veteran I'm a Little Teapot, Frizzle Fry, making his 3rd appearance, and keeps changing his names every tournament. I kinda lost it there. Anyway, he competed as HitIt_JPEG in the last tournament, and as Rod the Constraint Guy in the tournament before, which was his debut and the only time he cleared stage 1, and finished that tournament in 3rd place. Last tournament he went on the Saturn, which he's about to attempt right now. Getting through the course rather quickly. Alright, he's past the Saturn this time, or at least he got over her though, and now he's officially past the Saturn. Shapeshifter now. Getting by this nicely, almost undershoot the dismount. He's onto the jumping spider now with about a minute left. Quickly catches onto it. Climb up. Very good. Can he get the walk across? Yes, he will. Now for the climb down, and he has passed it. Alright, pendulum swing. How will he do here? Uh-oh, catching the top of the second pendulum, but dropped down, got swinging, and now he's onto the warped wall. 40 seconds. Gets up on his first attempt. Wing nuts now. How will he handle these? He hasn't faced these before, and again, many people haven't, so I don't know why I brought it up. 30 seconds now. Onto the second wing nut. Getting a few too many swings on it. Wants to make sure he gets a good swing. He can get caught up. Gonna have to dismount at some point. There he goes. He's onto the 3rd wing nut now. Had a hard time getting that 3rd one swinging. The klaxon is sounding. Come on. Can he catch onto the camel climb? No, he'll not. He'll just barely undershoot it. He's so close to clearing stage 1 for the 2nd time in his career, but just missed out. After that was newcomer JRZ Ninja, who looked really solid on the course, and was looking to become the 5th competitor this tournament to clear stage 1, and the 4th newcomer to do so. But despite catching onto the cannonball climb, he just undershot the jump onto the 3rd one, and went out on the cannonball climb. Then it was regular Blue Sonic 123, who's coming off time for his best performance in the last tournament. But this time around got haunted by his Tournament 18 nemesis, the Saturn. Now on the start line is a veteran who has something to prove. Next up is G-Man 992421, who is making his 11th appearance on the course. He's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 11. Throughout his career, he's had a wild ride of results. Of note was him going out on the jumping spider on his debut, and then going out on the rolling boulder in the following 2 tournaments. But then getting his revenge on the boulder, before later getting bit by the spider again. Then in the final 3 tournaments of the old terrain, he went out on the 3rd obstacle, each being different from the last. But starting in the new terrain, he was determined to not let stage 1 demoralize him. He became the first competitor to clear stage 1 of the new terrain, before then going out on stage 2. But in the last 2 tournaments, the jumping spider reminded him that they're sworn enemies. Now G-Man is determined to not go out on the jumping spider for a 3rd consecutive time, and 5th time overall. He'll have 100 seconds. Starting with the 12 timbers. And no problem with his last tournament, obviously. We're gonna get a pretty steady pace. Not too fast, but not too slow either. And he's past them. Alright, now for the rolling cage. Ooh, got it rolling quickly. Good attempt there, and he's past it. Now for the Saturn. Never failed this, and it's not gonna start now. That's it, now for the Shapeshifter. Getting through that nicely. Just gonna walk around the circle. Alright, Jumping Spider, and he's not slowing down on this, even though he's fallen in the last 2 tournaments. That's not gonna stop him from taking it slow on it. He's quickly past it. So he's conquered his nemesis from the last 2 tournaments. Now for the Pendulum Swing. Had a little struggle getting it swinging, but he's got it now. And now for the Warped Wall. He's got more than enough time to get through this. Can't get up on his first attempt, but that's okay. He can afford multiple attempts. Can't get up on his second attempt. Can he get up on his third? No, he will not. Can he get up on his 4th attempt? Yes, he will. And he's still got over 30 seconds left as he takes on the Wing Nuts. Getting a good swing on the first Wing Nut. The second. Getting through these quickly. He's getting really good swings on these Wing Nuts. Now he just needs a good one on the Cannonball Climb, which he does. And he's speeds up the Cannonball Climb, and he is going to clear Stage 1 with more than 10 seconds left. And just like that, J-Man has become the 5th competitor this tournament to clear Stage 1, the 2nd player to do so, and he is back in the 2nd stage. He appeared to take on this course with confidence, and possibly a shot at that top time. And despite going out on the Jumping Spider in the last 2 tournaments, that didn't seem to faze him at all, as he rushed it and still ended up beating it. In fact, the only obstacle that he struggled with on Stage 1 was the Warped Wall, as it took him 4 attempts to get up it. But he eventually got up it, and still had time to clear Stage 1. Even then, he got really good swings on each of the Wing Nuts and didn't lose any momentum, getting through them quickly, and quickly up the Cannonball Climb to punch his ticket to Stage 2 for the 2nd time in his career, and with more than 10 seconds left on the clock. Now 60 attempts on the Tournament 21 course. 5 of those 60 are moving on to Stage 2. There are still 40 attempts left to go, which include the All-Stars, a few veteran competitors, and some promising new competitors. And one of those promising new competitors is this regular, fortunate as OP09, who's making his 3rd appearance on the course. He's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 19. And he's gotten at least 1 step further on each of his appearances since his rolling boulder fail on his debut. Making quick work at the 12 timbers, and that was a really quick attempt on that. We're going to skip ahead now onto the Pendulum Swing. He's making great work of the course. And by it quickly. Little struggle on the Pendulum Swing. He has to go back to regen it. Probably didn't trust the swing. But he gets by it now, and now he's onto the Warped Wall. Still got a lot of time left. And he gets up on his first attempt. Still got over 30 seconds left as he takes on the Wing Nuts. Can he get by these? Onto the second one. Got a great swing off the first one. And a quick swing off the second and onto the third one. Can he get swing and get on the Cannonball Climb? Yes, he will. And taking his time preparing the climb. Does not want to slip up or make a mistake. He's not going to beat the Klaxon, but he is still going to clear the first stage with exactly 9 seconds to spare. And Fortunate becomes the first regular of this tournament to advance to Stage 2. Despite that brief setback on the Pendulum Swing, he's still moving on. After that, the next 4 competitors took to the course. First was newcomer Zayden Davidson, who became the latest victim of the new shapeshifter. Then Vince Jr. Vlogs _YT is likely going to vlog about his not-so-pleasant experience on the 12 Timbers. Then regular Bowling Boy Ninja made his 7th appearance on the course after last appearing in Tournament 15, but went back down to Earth by going out on the Saturn. If that sentence even made sense. And finally, regular the Miner Boy 10, who on his 3rd appearance conquered his nemesis from the last tournament, and then later became the latest victim of the Wingnuts, showing that miners don't have wings. And now on the start line is veteran Codemaster 05, making his 3rd appearance on the course. And like Fortunate, he's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 19. He became the first competitor to clear Stage 1 in the last tournament, and joined the handful of competitors who went from failing the first obstacle on their debut to clearing the first stage on their 2nd appearance. Club. Group. Whatever. Anyway, he's back, hoping to clear Stage 1 in back-to-back tournaments. Strong and rolling cage, taking the forward approach on it. But it works out, and he's through it, and now on to the Saturn. Had a little struggle getting over the hurdle, but he does, and he's cleared it. Now for the shapeshifter. Quickly and nicely through that. Down 2 minutes, he takes on the jumping spider. There's the jump. Gets onto it. Now for the climb up. And speeds his way through rock across, but he's through it. And quickly on the climb down, he's through the jumping spider. Well done. Now for the pendulum swing. Quickly past that. Or rather nicely past that. Whatever. And now for the warble. He's got a lot of time left. He can't get up on his first attempt. And he can't get up on his 2nd attempt. He's down to 30 seconds. He's still got time, but he's going to want to get up this wall. Can't get him his 3rd. He's going to want to get up on this attempt. He wants a shot at clearing Stage 1, which he cannot do. Okay, unfortunately, he's not going to have enough time to clear Stage 1, but can he at least get up the warped wall? The clock is ticking. Oh, he's almost had it that time, but he couldn't catch it. And it looks like he's kind of accepted the fee. The clock said sound. Or I guess he was just in disbelief that he didn't get up that time. He was doing so well in the first stage up until the warped wall. Almost had it. But after he failed to get up on that time, he looked to be in disbelief that he didn't get up at that time. And then on attempt when he heard the klaxon sound and didn't get up it, he just seemed to give up and walk off the course, admitting defeat, rather than take one more shot at it. And Codemaster is not going to make it back to the 2nd stage in back-to-back tournaments. From one veteran to another, this is Tyler Roberts 928, making his 11th appearance on the course. He's competed in almost every tournament since his debut in Tournament 10, only missing Tournament 18. He competed in his first 3 appearances as Coffee Mug 200013, or I'm just going to 20013. Whatever. Point is, that's what he was until he changed it to what his name is now in Tournament 13. And on his first 7 appearances, he had fallen on any of the first 4 obstacles of Stage 1. It wasn't until Tournament 17 when he started consistently getting to at least the jumping spider, which is where he fell in Tournament 17 and the last tournament. He cleared Stage 1 for the first time in his career in Tournament 19. Almost undershot the dismount on the shapeshifter, but once again he's past the 4th obstacle and now for the jumping spider. His It's gonna be 50-50 on this. Looking good on it. Gets a jump before it starts to climb, and he's past it. So yeah, he's 50-50 on the jumping spider. Now for the pendulum swing. Easily past that. Now for the warped wall. How we do here? Can't get up on his first attempt, but he's still got a lot of time left. Can he get up on his second attempt? No, he will not. Come on, Tyler, you can do this. And he gets up on his third attempt. Still got time left. On to the wing nuts now. Can he get good swings off of these? He's on to the second one now. Get a good swing on the third. Yes, he will. Albeit kind of glitchy, but it's shown that he's still getting through. And now he's on to the cannonball climb. Almost thought he was going to slip off of it. But he's climbing up it rather nicely. Gets up. And Tyler Roberts is going to punch his ticket to stage 2 for the second time in his career. Just couldn't beat the klaxon, but he's still moving on with 9.8 seconds left. And he becomes the third veteran in this tournament to move on to stage 2, and the 7th overall competitor to clear stage 1. Now we have the return of one of the OGs. Up next is regular Locke 1999, back making his 13th appearance on the course. Like Witters, Locke is one of the original Robloxian clippers and one of the most dedicated competitors on this course. He made his debut back in Tournament 5 and had competed in every tournament up until Tournament 15. And like Witters, despite Locke's very likable personality and being one of the OG competitors, he has struggled on this course and has yet to beat Stage 1, with his primary rival being the Rolling Boulder. He's gotten close on clearing Stage 1 3 times, with the closest of those 3 being in Tournament 9, where he was just a couple seconds short of the button. After failing the first obstacle on his last appearance in Tournament 17, which is the first time he's failed the first obstacle since his debut, he took a pretty long break from the course. But now he's back, hoping that lucky number 13 will be his long-awaited breakthrough. Like Ecardis and Witters, I really want to see Locke do well on this course. I really want to see him clear Stage 1 for the first time. Let's see if he can do it. Got the 12 timbers to start off with, making quick work of them. And gets by him nicely, well done. Rolling cage now. Oh, gets on top of it. Back down, and now he's onto it. Got it rolling nicely. And he's by it. Well done. Now for the Saturn. Can't catch onto the ring, he's got to wait for that had to come around. Alright, he's onto the ring, hesitates before moving, gets over the hurdle, and he's past the Saturn. Alright, onto the shapeshifter now. Can he get through this? Getting through it nicely, and he's past it with little to no trouble on that obstacle. Down in less than 8 minutes, he takes on the jumping spider. Rushes onto it, he catches onto it. Getting the climb up, taking his time preparing each jump. Getting fast through rock across, and the climb down, he's past the jumping spider. Still got time to clear as he takes on the pendulum swing. Ooh, doing the forward approach on each edge. Haven't seen many people do that, but he's by. Now for the warped wall. Gets up in his first attempt, alright. He's still got 30 seconds. He just gotta not slip up in the wing nuts here. Just gotta get good swings on them. There he goes. Getting a good swing on the first one. Oh, no, he's gonna need that extra swing, and he's onto it now. 20 seconds, he's onto the single one. He's really gotta hurry. Come on, Locke. You got this. Getting it swinging. Oh, no. On the last wing, he's down to 10 seconds. The klaxon sounds. Oh, no, he's not getting a good swing on that third wing nut. Oh, and he's not gonna have enough time. It's not gonna happen. And he ends up undershooting the transition to the cannonball climb anyway. And Locke, the 13th consecutive time, is out on the first stage. Oh, you hate to see it. And now up is regular Bill X Ben, making his 6th appearance on the course. He's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 16. On each of his appearances, he's taken a step further. He failed on the first obstacle on his first attempt, which is his debut, and so on and so forth. Although, you'd think that he failed the second obstacle in his second attempt, but he didn't. He actually failed the third obstacle in his second attempt, fourth on his third attempt, and fifth attempt on his fourth attempt. He landed failing the second obstacle in the last tournament. Not exactly a good thing, but still. So, I guess in his case, it's expected that he'll get to the 6th obstacle and probably fail it. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I mean, I'm hoping he gets to at least the 6th obstacle, but get further than that and break that streak. Or trend, or whatever. I guess he kind of did in a way, but whatever. Point is, he's down the list of the minute now, and he's onto the jumping spider, so... Okay, at least get past this. So far, so good on it. Taking it kind of slowly. Doesn't want to make a mistake. But you don't want to go too slow. Ooh, he almost undershot that jump there. But he's gone to it, now to the downward section. He's past it. Got 35 seconds, and he takes on the pendulum swing. He can still clear, but he's going to want to get up the warped wall on this attempt here if he wants a chance. And he does! Just barely. He's onto the wing nuts now. He's got time to clear. Now he's just got to get good swings on these. Locke failed to do so, but maybe Bill can do better. Well, he's onto the second wing nut. And onto the third one now in 15 seconds. Still got time. Got to get a good swing to catch onto the cannonball climb. The klaxon sounds and he catches onto it. Gets a really good swing of it. I think that's the best swing we've seen of all the competitors this tournament. He got to that point. And Bill's going to clear the first stage with just over 2 seconds left. And he becomes our 8th competitor to clear the first stage. And the second regular to do so. Well done, Bill, on exceeding expectations. After Bill's successful run, newcomer Savvy Gamer 2005 took his shot at the course and was doing so well. But when he got to the warped wall, he couldn't figure out how to get up it and eventually ran out of time there. But at least he didn't give up before his time expired. Then regular Tunvi 101 made his second attempt on the course after last competing in Tournament 19, and unlike his debut performance, he took a step backwards and went out on the rolling cage. But then newcomer Dan Mario 24YT, after struggling to get up the warped wall, eventually got up it in time to use the wing nuts instead of his actual wings to punch his ticket to stage 2, rightfully deserving of that crown he wears on his head. And he becomes the 9th competitor and 4th newcomer this tournament to clear stage 1. And now, out of the 72 competitors who've ran this course, a 9th of them are moving on to stage 2. And 2/3 of that 9th will be attempting stage 2 for their first time. But now we still got many runs on stage 1 left to go, all of whom are looking to join them in the second stage. Let's see if this next competitor can look forward to taking on stage 2 for their first time as well. It is lowly Captain America, making his 9th appearance on the course. He's been competing on and off since his debut in Tournament 9. His best performance came on his last appearance in Tournament 19, where he went out on the slippery logs. Let's see if we can do personal best today. He turned around just as the legs set up. Guess he heard his mom calling her something, but guess he was just had to tell her that, "Mom, run the course. Let me do this first." Anyway, he's off in the 12 timbers, and he undershoots the jump to the 5th plank on the 12 timbers. And for the 5th time in his career, Lowly is out on the first obstacle of stage 1. Next up is veteran Mr. Coolio, making his 7th appearance on the course. Before I talk about this competitor, I just want to say real quick, rest in peace to the actual Coolio. At the time I recorded this commentary, he had recently passed away. Such a tragic loss, a talented rapper. Anyway, I imagine that this competitor was inspired by Coolio. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of which, he made his debut all the way back in Tournament 5 under the name Braver Coolio 4. He changed it to the Wizards Dude in Tournament 7, where he also achieved his personal best by getting to the final obstacle of Stage 3. After he achieved his personal best in Tournament 10, by going out on the step pillar, he stopped competing. But he returned in the last tournament with his current name, and went out on the Saturn, which he's past now, and taking a slow approach on the jumping spider, but he's still got time left, so he can afford to take it slowly a bit, and he doesn't want to make a mistake. And he's past the pendulum swing, or he's onto it, and now he's officially past it, and now for the warped wall. Still got time in hand, gets up the wall in his first attempt, and now for the wing nuts. Gotta get on top of the first, he's gonna start all the way back to the beginning before he jumps back onto it. Not a bad idea, it works. Definitely can't do that on near the second wing nut. He seems to be getting a pretty good swing off it, and he does. Grabs the top of it, but that's okay. He still managed to get back to swinging. Get a good swing onto the camo climb. Yes, he does. And if he can do this, he will clear the first stage, and he will do so for the second time in his career with 7.4 seconds left. Mr. Coolio is now our 10th competitor to advance to stage 2. And here's an old face to greet him and congratulate him. I was so busy paying my respects to the actual Coolio that I didn't pay much attention to this Coolio. He conquered his nemesis from the last tournament, got a little bothered by that old face I just mentioned prior to the shapeshifter. He had a brief setback on the first wing nut, but he still had the time to get good swings, climb up the cannonball climb, and punch his ticket to stage 2 for the second time in his career. With old face Jake the Master 27 and yours truly congratulating him. Side note, Jake the Master is not competing, he's just here as a spectator. But hopefully he'll still be here to cheer on Mr. Coolio in stage 2. Next up is the former Roblox Ninja Warrior guy himself, Fluffy Tails 2011, back making his 14th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 2, and had competed in almost every tournament since then, up until Tournament 15, missing only Tournament 5 at that time. The only time he's gotten close to beating Stage 1 was on his debut. Since then, he'd go out on either the Spin Bridge or the Broken Windmill. But starting in Tournament 8, he'd go out on either the first or second obstacle. Went on a temporary hiatus after Tournament 15, but now, here he is again. Not going very fast. Starting for 20 seconds, he's on to the rolling cage. He's past it, so he's already putting on his best performance since Tournament 7. Takes on the Saturn now. Can he get over the hurdle? No, he will not. He almost did, but bounced off it and just slipped off the ring, and he's out on the Saturn. Alright, we're now past 3/4 of Stage 1 this tournament. Kicking off the start of the 4th quarter is newcomer True Slap Potato. Not Slate Potato, Slap Potato, because there's no E at the end of that. And he doesn't seem to know to go when the lights lit up. It's lit up several times, and now he's not going. Come on, get going. Stop being a potato. I guess... potatoes, so not... He's on a 12 tempers, and he's getting by them. He's already used up 20 seconds, going around the same pace as Fluffy. Although Fluffy actually did star when the lamps lit up. Albeit waited a few seconds, but still. Anyway, Potatoes on the side gets over the hurdle, and he's past it. Now for the shapeshifter. Down to a minute, but he's getting by this obstacle nicely, and he's through it. And now for the jumping spider. How will he approach this? Quickly onto it. Quickly on the climb up, and now for the walk across. Getting by it nicely. Now for the climb down. Oh, and he slips. He's grabbing onto the edge. That's unfortunately disqualification. Not that he beat it anyway. Either way, he's on the jumping spider. Next up is guest defender, veteran Tobiz12345, making his 9th appearance on the course. He's been competing in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 13. He cleared Stage 1 for his first time in Tournament 17, and for his second time in Tournament 19. The last tournament, he went out on the Saturn, which is his second worst performance. His worst was on his debut, when he went out on the first obstacle, which was the dome pillar. And he's onto the Saturn now. This is where he fell in the last tournament. Can he beat it this time? Easily gets over the hurdle, catches onto the ring, and he's past it. Now for Shapeshifter. And he's nailed it. We got a little over a minute left. Not the fastest pace, but definitely up there. Onto the Jumping Spider. Quickly climbs up. Quick on the Rock Across, taking safe bounces every time he gets on the walk across. Quickly climbs down. He's past the Jumping Spider. Now for the Pendulum Swing. Golly, I can't keep up. Alright. Quickly past that and loads of time left for the Warped Wall. And he gets him in his first attempt. He has a chance to get the new top time, assuming he can get good fast wings on these wing nuts. So on to the second one now. Approaching 30 seconds. It needs an extra stream on that second one, so I don't think he's going to have the top time now, unless he can get a really good swing off the third one, which he's not, so unfortunately he's not going to have the top time, but he's quickly coming to the third point, almost slips on the jump to the third one, but he reaches the top, and he's going to clear stage 1 with the second fastest time so far at 16.1 seconds, and Topaz, for the third time in his career, is moving on to stage 2, dressed as a guest. Missed those things. He was going for more than just a third stage 1 clear and revenge on the Saturn. He was going for speed. And he was on pace to get the fastest time, but needed a couple extra swings on the second wing nut, which basically killed his momentum and any chance he had of getting that fastest time. He nearly lost his grip on the third cannonball of the cannonball climb, but he held on and cleared stage 1 for the third time in his career, with currently the second fastest time, and now he's the 5th veteran this tournament to clear stage 1. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? Around the beginning of this tournament, the veterans who were early in the run order were undone by the Saturn, aside from one. Since the Noobish Campers run, not a single veteran has gone out on the Saturn. They go out no sooner than the Jumping Spider or clear stage 1. Which is more than I can say for the next 5 newcomers to go. First was Berksy, who had a pretty nice pace, but just undershot the dismount on the Shapeshifter. Then was XX Kink Sinister XX, who looked like he knew what he was doing on the Jumping Spider, but then underestimated the distance on the walk section. Then female competitor Totally Kate was not only going at a somewhat slow pace, but when she got to the Saturn, the ring turned out to be not her size. Then Roblox Polish Player tried to harness his inner rabbit powers to get some extra speed and jumping height, but it didn't seem to help him at all on the hurdle of the Saturn. And finally was Genji7, who probably had the most embarrassing fail on the Shapeshifter, just overshooting the jump to the square. And now at the start line is regular Yellow Mailbox, who's making his 7th appearance on the course. He's been competing in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 15. Throughout his career, he's never gotten past the Jumping Spider. He'd go out on either the first, second, third obstacle, maybe fourth. But either way, the only tournament he's managed to make to the Jumping Spider, which was the personal best, was in Tournament 19. And quickly passed the 12 Timbers, which is where he failed in the last tournament. So he's gotten past that obstacle. Or that fail, at least. And quickly passed the Rolling Cage. Well done. Now for the Saturn. Gets over the hurdle quite nicely, and he's cleared it. And now for the Shapeshifter. Going really fast on this course. And he's past the Shapeshifter. Still got over a minute left as he takes on the jumping spider. If he can get past this, it'll be a new personal best for him. Getting through this obstacle quickly. And he has beaten it, so this is a new personal best for Yellow, but he wants to do better than that. He not only wants to clear stage 1, but get that new top time. If he can get up the warp wall in his first attempt, he'll have a chance. And unfortunately, he's not going to do. And he's not going to get that top time unless he speeds his way through the wing nuts. Now he's through the warp wall in his third attempt. Let's see, can he get past the wing nuts? And he's gonna he needs an extra swing to on the first one. He just barely managed to grab onto the second one. So unfortunately, he's not gonna have the top time. But can he at least clear the first stage for the first time in his career? Gets a good swing onto the cannonball climb, quickly climbs up it, and he's not gonna get the second fast time either. But Yellow Mailbox, on his 7th attempt on the course, is going to have the 3rd fastest time of stage 1 for the time being at 12.3 seconds. And despite his shortcomings throughout 5 of his previous 6 attempts, Yellow Mailbox is moving on to the 2nd stage for the first time in his career. From one well-known regular to another, this is the Shack Man himself, So Whatever Dude, who's making his 3rd appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 19, where he went out on the slippery logs. Last tournament, he went out on the jumping spider. Let's see if he can at least get a new personal best, or even hopefully clear stage 1. Definitely one of the most respected and committed members in the ninja community. Pretty smoothly onto the rolling cage. Nice attempt on it, and he's past it. And now for the Saturn. Like this. Oh, he can't get over the hurdle, doesn't catch onto the ring, and he's out on the Saturn. And now we're on to regular 2005 Cheeseburger, making his 6th appearance on the course. Like Yellow Mailbox, he made his debut in Tournament 15, and competed in almost every tournament since then, only missing the last tournament. His personal best came in Tournament 16, where he ran out on the Pillars of Doom. He's past the 12 timbers now, at a somewhat decent time, and now for the rolling cage. Got it rolling nicely. And he's past it, and now for the Saturn. He did go out on this in Tournament 18. Can he get over it again? Yes, he will. And he's past it. Now for the Shapeshifter, replacing the spinning rings. He did fail the spinning rings on his last appearance. Can he beat his successor, the Shapeshifter? Yes, he will! Doesn't go out early in the circle, waiting for it to tilt down a bit before attempting it. And now he's onto the jumping spider. Can he get past this? He's only managed to reach this obstacle once, and he beat it that time. And it looks like he's gonna do it again. Well done. Alright. Now for the pendulum swing. Past that nicely, and now for the warped wall. Can he get up this? Yes, he will in his first attempt. He's down to less than 30 seconds. He's got time to clear. He's got to get good swings on the wing nuts. This has been a killer for some people who got to this point. Got a good swing on the second one. Now he's got to get a good swing on this one to catch onto the cannonball climb. And he will not. He doesn't get a good enough swing and misses the cannonball climb. He was so close, yet so far, but he's once again out on the second to last obstacle of stage 1. Taking a little break from the regulars, and on to another newcomer, this one by the name of Smokey Milford. I have nothing more to say. Let's see how he does. He'll have a minute 40 seconds. Well, almost looked like he kind of slipped out the first plane, but he didn't, which is kind of a bad camera view. Making quick work of the 12 timbers, and he's past it. Now for the rolling cage. Onto it, he's got it rolling. And he's past it. Well done. Now for the Saturn. Can he get past this? Gets over the hurdle rather nicely. And he's baiting it. Kind of a weird dismount there. And he's not even going to regenerate the shapeshifter. He's going to jump right over it. He's basically mocking the obstacle. But he still gets past it. Still got over a minute left as he takes on the jumping spider. Takes his time jumping onto it. He's caught onto it. Quickly on the climb up. Trying to make sure he doesn't fall off the walk session. Going rather cautiously. But he's past the jumping spider now. And now for the pendulum swing. And he's past it. And now for the warped wall. And he's up it in one. Plenty of time now for the wing nuts. Grabs onto the top of the first one, but it's okay. Needs an extra swing on the first wing nut. He's got it now for the second. Got a good swing on the second and on to the third one now. Now he just needs to get a good enough swing to catch on the cannonball climb, which he barely does. Just managed to grab onto the cannonball. And now he's climbing up it slowly, but still with enough time for him to... Did he just manage to press the button before he actually got to it? How did he manage to... Like... Oh, forget it. He beats the klaxon anyway, and Smokey Milford's become the 5th newcomer to this tournament to clear stage 1. But the party didn't stop there, as veteran Nagag 427UI took to the course for his 3rd time, and after a little bit of a struggle on the rolling cage and warped wall, still managed to clear stage 1 for his 2nd time, after doing so for his 1st time in the last tournament, but with currently the 2nd slowest time. But I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter to him. What really matters is he's the 14th competitor to clear stage 1 this tournament. As we approach 13 competitors left to run stage 1, we've now seen 14 advance to stage 2, which is now the most success we've seen on this course in the new terrain, with a slight chance of seeing a new all-time stage 1 clear record. One of those final 13 being regular Gaio Phoenix 1102, who's making his 4th appearance on the course. He's been a bonus runner once or twice, but he made his official debut in Tournament 17, where he failed the jumping spider. On his last 2 appearances, he failed the first obstacle. Anyway, he's on to the first obstacle now. Obviously, he failed his last tournament, as I just said. Can he beat it this time? Going at a pretty nice pace, and he is past it. Alright, so he's not going to fail the first obstacle for a 3rd appearance in a row. How will he do on the rolling cage? Gonna get past it. Kind of an awkward dismount, but he's by it now for the Saturn. Easily over the hurdle. And he almost undershoots the dismount. That would have been embarrassing. Anyway, shapeshifter now. And he gets by it with not too much trouble. Down 2 minutes, he takes on the jumping spider. He's going pretty quickly. And he doesn't catch onto the walk session. He is out on the jumping spider for the 2nd time in his career. Now we're on to our next newcomer, Robbie Yates 123. Let's see how he does with his minute 40 seconds. Alright, on to the 12 timbers. Going at a pretty solid pace. Actually a really good pace. And he's past it. Alright, now for the rolling cage. How will we do here? Rolling nicely. Almost falls off there, but he's by. And now for the Saturn. On to it now. Can't get over the hurdle there, but he does in a second and wants to catch onto the ring. That was dangerous, but he gets through the Saturn. We're going to skip ahead onto the pendulum swing. He doesn't try to swing. He's going to go back to regen it to get a proper dismount off the first swing. He does. And he's past the pendulum swing. Still got time to clear. Can he get up the warp wall on his first attempt? Yes, he will. And now for the wing nuts. Done less than 30 seconds. Gets a really good swing off the first wing nut. And gets a really good swing off the second one. My goodness. And onto the cannonball climb. That's one of the fastest attempts we've seen in the wing nuts this tournament. And Robbie Yates is going to be the 6th newcomer this tournament to clear stage 1. Despite the close call on the Saturn and setback on the pendulum swing, Robbie is advancing to stage 2. And clearly he's happy about it. Alright, moving on. We're now on to runner number 90. This is regular Ninjas for Life 37, making his second appearance on the course. He made his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the 12 Timbers. So at least he gets a chance to get revenge on it, early on. Not going fast in this obstacle. I think right now the important thing is just getting by this. And he's beat the 12 Timbers, so it's a new personal best for him no matter what. Like pretty much everyone get better who seeks for personal best, he wants to do more than that. For the rolling cage, but he's through it. Onto the Saturn now, and he doesn't even get a jump onto the ring and he's out. Similar to how he went out in the last tournament. Next up is newcomer Longshot Arrow 77. Y'all know him, you either like him or not, but let's just see how he does on his debut. I mean, technically he competed in the last tournament, but he was a bonus runner, so we'll see how he does on his debut as an official competitor. Whatever. Anyway, speed to the 12 Timbers. Very nicely done. Now for the rolling cage. Got that rolling very nicely, and he's through it. Now for the Saturn. Onto the ring. Gets over the hurdle nicely, and he's past the Saturn. Now for the Shapeshifter. Going on the side, middle of the triangle, runs around the circle and jumps up at the end. He's past the Shapeshifter. Now for the Jumping Spider. Catches onto it, quickly climbs up. Pretty quick through the walk across, not too fast. Click on the climb down, he's past the Jumping Spider, and he's still got a lot of time left as he takes on the pendulum swing. Gets through that nicely enough for the warped wall. Still got over 40 seconds left. And he is up on his first attempt, and now for the wing nuts. Got 40 seconds left. He's on pace to having the fastest time. Assuming he can get good swings off these wing nuts, which he did on the first one. Can he get a good swing off the second one? Yes, he will. Less than 30 seconds. And he gets a good swing onto the cannonball climb. Kind of taking his time on the jump, so unfortunately he's not going to have the fastest time. But he is going to have the second fastest time for the time being at 17.2 seconds. And two newcomers hold the fastest 2 times on stage 1 this tournament. And Longshot is now the 16th competitor and 7th newcomer to advance to stage 2. After that, 2 more regulars took to the course. First was Kyler DeRusso, making his 7th appearance on the course. He not only achieved a new personal best by getting past the Jumping Spider, but he took a big leap forward by clearing stage 1, just barely behind Longshot's time, but still currently the 3rd fastest clear time. Then it was Akko making his 2nd appearance on the course, and he basically picked up from where he left off in the last tournament by not letting the clock stop him from clearing stage 1. Only just failing to beat the Klaxon, but still becoming the 18th competitor this tournament to advance to stage 2. We're approaching the end of stage 1. There are still 7 competitors left to go. Before the final 5 take their shot at the course, we will see the last of the newcomers take on stage 1, as well as the last of the regulars. While we won't see a new all-time stage 1 clear record this tournament, we could still see the 2nd most stage 1 clears and a tie for the most newcomers to move on to stage 2. And the last of the newcomers is Muffin Power 1234, and I don't know what's up with those flashing green lights in the background. Hope it doesn't cause any epileptic seizures or anyone prone to such stuff like that. Anyway, we seem to be done with that. Nope, it's flashing different colors. This time it's black. Oh man, I hope this doesn't become a common theme throughout this run. Anyway, Muffin, not going very fast on this course. Or even on 12 Timbers for that matter. But they're through and on to the rolling cage. Got it rolling nicely. Gets the dismount and past the rolling cage, and now for the Saturn. Gets over the hurdle past the Saturn. Kind of a laggy run, all things considered. And now we got those flashing lights going on. They seem to have stopped. And in less than a minute now, his Muffin's now onto the jumping spider. Doesn't get a jump off the trampoline and is out on stage 1 with the flashing color still going on. And now we're on to the last of the regulars, Leaf Stones, making his 3rd appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 19 and competed in every tournament since. Despite having a high number, he hasn't exactly performed well. In Tournament 19, he went out on the jumping spider, and he got even higher number last tournament, but went on the rolling boulder. Now let's see how he does on the new rolling cage. Getting through that nicely, and he's passed it. Now for the Saturn. Ooh, kind of bounces back for some reason. I guess he just wasn't certain about making the jump the first time and wanted to back up to make sure he got the distance, but either way it worked, and he's past the Saturn. And now for the Shapeshifter. Almost undershoots the dismount, but he just barely gets past that. Now he's onto the jumping spider. This is where he failed in Tournament 19. If he can get past this, it'll be a new personal best for him. Getting through this rather quickly. Started going kind of slow in the course, but now he's picking up the pace. But he's past the jumping spider, so it's a new personal best. Let's see how much further he can go. Maybe he can clear the first stage. Down to 40 seconds. He can't get up the warp wall in his first attempt. How about his second? Yes, he will. Still got time to clear stage 1. Just gotta get good swings on these wing nuts. Gets a good swing on the first one. How are we doing the second? Oh my goodness! He only took like 1 or 2 swings on that one. And only gets a few swings on the cannonball climb, and he's climbing up it nicely. Kind of paused before making the jump to the 5th cannonball. And Leaf Stones, for the first time in his career, proves that he deserves a high number, and he clears the first stage with 15.6 seconds left on the clock, which is currently the 5th fastest stage 1 clear time. He didn't have the fastest pace, especially in the beginning, but on the Saturn, he kind of jumped backwards a bit, presumably because he might have been a little too close to the hurdle at first to make the jump. But in any case, he ended up getting over the hurdle. And he also paused a bit before taking on the Shapeshifter. And even then, he almost jumped too early off the circle, but he just barely made the dismount. It wasn't until he got to the jumping spider when he started to pick up the pace, and it took him 2 attempts to get up the warped wall. But probably his most impressive feat on this run was he only needed 1 swing on the second wing nut to catch onto the 3rd. That is crazy. And even though he paused again before getting up to the 5th cannonball, he still clears with a very good time. Well done to Leaf Stones. We're now onto the final 5, arguably the best 5 competitors on this course. 3 of them are looking for revenge, while the other 2 are looking to improve from their last performance. And one of the 2 looking to improve from their last performance is this competitor. Kicking off the final 5 is veteran Daniel Icewolf RBLX. He's making his 15th appearance on the course. He made his debut back in Tournament 6 under the name Icewolf Boy 63. He's been competing in almost every tournament since his debut, missing only Tournament 11. On his first 10 appearances, he hasn't done much better than many of the other regulars on this course, going no further than the jumping spider. He changed his name to what it is now on his landmark 10th appearance. He didn't start to see success on this course until Tournament 17, when he would clear Stage 1 for the first time, and take it a step further by clearing the second stage and finishing that tournament in 2nd place. In Tournament 18, he seemed to have been brought back to reality as he would go out on Stage 1 for his 11th time. but in the last 2 tournaments, he would prove that that wasn't a reality check, as he would get back to Stage 2 and even to Stage 3 in the last tournament, finishing both tournaments in 4th place. Perhaps the prime reason he's been doing so well lately is because he hosted his own competition, Ice Wolf Warrior, so he's familiar with obstacles like these, having built them and tested them himself. Whatever the reason, he's showing his potential as a future all-star. Let's see if he can keep this momentum going. Alright, let's see how he does. A minute 40 for him. Still dancing at the start. His time begins and he's still dancing, and now he's going. Alright. Making quick work of the 12 timbers. And he's through them. Now for the rolling cage. He's been the victim of the rolling boulder in the past. He'll be a victim of the rolling cage. He will not. Kind of an awkward way to dismount, but whatever works. Now for the Saturn. Goes onto the ring. Gonna struggle over the hurdle and makes an early dismount. Kind of risky, but way to save time, I guess. And through the shapeshifter with no trouble. Now for the jumping spider. Been a victim of this in the past. 3 tournaments, I believe. He's onto it now. Bit laggy, but you can still see he's getting through. Passing jumping spider, now for the pendulum swing. Handling that with no trouble, and he's past it. Now for the warped wall. He has never struggled with this before. Can't get up on his first attempt. And he can't get up on his second attempt. Did I just jinx him? Nah, he gets up on his 3rd attempt. He's still got time to clear. Wing nuts now. Alright, on to the second one. Having a difficult time getting good swings on these. He's on to the 3rd one now. He's still got time, but he's gotta get a good enough swing to catch on the cannonball climb. Looks like he got cut, but he still managed to make the transition. And now he's coming up it quickly, pick up the pace. And Daniel is gonna clear the first stage for a 3rd tournament in a row with exactly 2 seconds left on the clock. We continue to see his potential as an all-star. And Daniel, for the 4th time in his career, will advance to Stage 2. Had a slow start, but made up for it by taking a shortcut on the Saturn dismount. Had a hard time getting up the warped wall, and was a bit sloppy on getting good swings on the wing nuts. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. It was a close call, but Daniel moves on to Stage 2 once again. Now we're on to the Shingo Yamamoto of Ninja Warrior of Roblox, Clever Ninjas. He's the only competitor who's competed in every single tournament, thus making this his 21st appearance. He's yet to beat Stage 1 of the new terrain, hoping to change that this time. The last time he cleared Stage 1 was in Tournament 17, so showing some progress at least. The last 2 tournaments, he went out on the jumping spider. Tournament 18, he went out on the first obstacle. Almost slips up the little cage there. That would have been embarrassing to pull a dino. But anyway, he's getting past it and he's cleared in. Now for the Saturn. Looked like he struggled to get over the hurdle, but managed to do so. 2nd attempt or something like that. Anyways, on to the shapeshifter now. Gets it up in almost no trouble. Almost undershoots the dismount. He's past it now for the jumping spider. He failed us in the last 2 tournaments. Can he get up at this time? Will be 3rd time's the charm for the... Well, technically 3rd time's the charm to him. Whatever. Gets past it this time. Alright, so he's conquered his nemesis from the last 2 tournaments. Now for the pendulum swing. Gonna go back to regenerate because he didn't trust it. Getting ready to swing when he first got onto it. Now he's beaten it. Now for the warped wall. Can he get up this? Still got time to clear. Can't get up on his first attempt. How about his second attempt? That's a no. He's gonna want to get up on this attempt if he wants a chance to clear stage 1, and he can't. So unfortunately, he's not gonna have the time to clear stage 1, but can he at least get up this wall? He's really having a hard time getting up it. He's not getting the jump he needs. He's clean too close to the wall and not getting able to good jump at. Unfortunately, it's pretty laggy, so we can't even see his attempts, but you can pretty much tell he can't get up those walls. The camera's not even moving, and his time expires, and Clever Ninjas has timed up on the warped wall and is once again out on stage 1. That's really unfortunate. He was doing so good. He ended up conquering his nemesis from the last 2 tournaments, but the warped wall. Unfortunately, due to the camera lagging up, it was tough to see what was going wrong, but you can see from a few viewpoints that he clung too close to the curved walls, so he wasn't able to get a good jump to be able to grab the top of the wall. In any case, Clever Ninjas is once again undone on stage 1. Now we're on to a competitor who just recently got a promotion. Next up is the newest addition to the All-Stars, an epic Reshiram. He's making his 14th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 7 under the name Mutant Reshiram 47. And he's competed in almost every tournament since then, missing only Tournament 15. Much like Daniel, Enebic didn't see much success on this course during the all-terrain days, though he did clear stage 1 for his first time in Tournament 13 before going out on the triple salmon ladder. He would go out on the second-to-last obstacle in the final 2 tournaments hosted on the all-terrain, and the final obstacle on the first tournament hosted on the new terrain. That would end up being foreshadowing, as he would become one of the top 10 American Ninja Warrior of Roblox competitors for Tournament 19, reach the 3rd stage, and finish that tournament in 1st place. He would replicate that success in the last tournament, finishing that tournament in 3rd place. His performances in the past 5 tournaments, including his back-to-back top 3 finishes, made him worthy enough of becoming an All-Star. Now we'll have to see if he's rightfully deserving of that rank, or if he's run out of steam. And he's off. 100 seconds. Will Timbers is first. Taking his time to prepare each jump, doesn't want to make a mistake, doesn't want to go out early. Of course, the obstacles haven't taken him any pairs this tournament, and he's not going to be the next one. Rolling cage now. Approach. Oh, almost so close to falling off that time, but he's through the rolling cage, and now for the Saturn. This has caused trouble. Oh, has a bit of a struggle getting over the hurdle, but he manages to catch on in time. He's over it, now for the Shapeshifter. Now he's starting to pick up the pace a bit. He's down to less than a minute. Picking up the pace now. Started off kind of slow, but now he's picking up the pace. Time repairing the Gummy Spire is obviously the hardest obstacle in the whole course, at least stage 1. And he's past that. Pendulum swing. Getting through that quickly, and he's past it. Now for the warped wall, still got plenty of time left, and he gets up on his first attempt. Well done. 30 seconds now as he takes on the wing nuts. Getting good swings on these like he did last tournament. Well, time-consuming ones, but he's getting through them. He's on to the third one now, less than 20 seconds, he's got time. Now just gotta get a good swing onto the cannonball climb. And he catches onto it. The klaxon sounds. But an Epic should have time to clear stage 1. Climbing up it kind of slowly. But an Epic is going to clear the first stage for a third tournament in a row with 3.8 seconds left. And an Epic has definitely proved that he deserves the rank of All-Star as he heads back to the second stage for the fourth time in his career. Yeah, he started off slow. It was a close call on both the rolling cage and the Saturn. And on the shapeshifter, he started to pick up the pace. Slowed down again on the jumping spider, wisely so. And after that, it was smooth sailing. And an Epic Reshiram punches his ticket to stage 2 for the third tournament in a row. Now it's time to summon the Speed Demon. Next one to take on the course is Aussie Bro, making his landmark 20th appearance on the course. His attendance record is similar to Clever Ninja's, but he missed out on Tournament 8. On his first 9 appearances, he had mixed results, clearing stage 1 5 times and clearing stage 2 twice. In the last 10 tournaments, he only failed stage 1 twice, which unfortunately includes the last tournament, breaking his stage 1 clear streak of 8. Despite that, that's still the longest stage 1 clear streak, and that doesn't negate the fact that he's cleared stage 1 more times than any other competitor, with a total of 13. Plus, he'd get to stage 3 in 4 of his last 6 appearances. So he has what it takes to go all the way, but now we just have to hope that he can bounce back this tournament. 100 seconds for the purple-haired kangaroo. Whatever you want to call him, I don't know. I don't care. He ended up skipping the second of that one too. What the heck? That is allowed. You are allowed to skip steps, but considering their distance, it is not wise or easy to pull off those jumps. But kind of did make him look easy. He's the Speed Demon after all. Oh, he can pretty much do anything when it comes to speed, except getting over the Saturn on his first jump. But he's past it now, and now for the shapeshifter. Gets through that nicely. Still got over a minute as he takes on the jumping spider. Yep, he is definitely on pace to getting the fastest time. Woo! And he's past the jumping spider that took him on the last tournament. And now for the pendulum swing. He keeps going that pace. He is going to get the fastest time and beat Free's time. His pace is actually faster than Free. Oh, he can't get the work on his first attempt. That's really going to hurt his chance. But he gets him on his second attempt, and now for the wing nuts. 40 seconds left, all that time left. He get a good swing, but it doesn't get him the second wing nut! Aussie Bro has fallen on the first stage for the second tournament in a row! What just happened? I mean, it's no shock to see Aussie Bro going fast on this stage, as that's what he's best known for. Especially skipping a couple steps on the 12 timbers. And he got past the jumping spider, which took him out in the last tournament. And on the wing nuts here, what happened? Did he just not get a good enough swing? Oh, he didn't. He didn't get a good enough swing. It didn't have the distance to catch on to the second wing nut. He was doing so well, but that one miscalculation is what did him in. And Aussie Bro, for the second tournament in a row, will not be advancing to the second stage. You hate to see it, but that's the way it is. Before we proceed to the final round of Stage 1, let's first proceed with this tournament's There have been a lot of shocking fails this tournament, and Dino 4564's fail was a high consideration, but upon further speculation, it's more of a WTF moment. And while we just saw Aussie Bro come so close to bouncing back, the honor of this tournament goes to Glorp Juice. He managed to reach the goal in his debut, went too slow last tournament, and came the closest out of all the experienced competitors this tournament to reach the goal again, but was practically shot out of the cannon. And now on the start line is this tournament's Mr. 100. The final competitor to take on Stage 1 this tournament is Furibu. Better known as Philip Scott in real life, a former American Ninja Warrior and National Ninja League competitor, now part of the latter staff. He is one of the most dedicated and respected people on both the real-life ninja community as well as the Roblox jumping community. Now here making his 14th appearance on the course. He made his debut in Tournament 7, and since Tournament 8, he would become one of the most successful competitors, even if his performance didn't result in a Stage 1 clear, which he would eventually do for the first time in Tournament 10. He would become the first competitor ever to clear Stage 1 for 5 consecutive tournaments, and reach Stage 3 4 of those 5 times. In Tournament 15, however, his downward spiral would begin as his Stage 1 clear streak would end, and he would achieve his personal worst performance in Tournament 17. He cleared Stage 1 in Tournaments 16 and 18, but failed Stage 2 both times. He missed out on the last tournament, and was close to missing out on this tournament as well, before being persuaded to run one last time. Because of his work in the real-life ninja community, as well as being one of the builders for this Tournament 21 course, which he felt would be cheating to run this course with knowledge on how these obstacles work, he has decided to retire. Being told to end his Ninja Warrior of Roblox career on a high note, or at least not prematurely, he's hoping to clear Stage 1 one last time before passing on the torch to the next batch of All-Stars. I really want to see him in Stage 2 one last time. On the sidelines are squad members Witters, Aussie Bro, Reality Pails, Riderly Angle, and RC Planes 59. Needless to say, they want to see Furibu in Stage 2 as well. The stage has been set. Now let's see if he can deliver. 100 seconds. Come on, Furibu. I know you can do it. First obstacle, 12 timbers. He's got support. Cheering him on. Alright, past the 12 timbers. Not too quickly, but not too slow either. Rolling cage now. Can you get through this? A little bit of a close goal, almost got flung off, but he's through it. Now for the Saturn. Less than 8 seconds. Onto the ring. Oh, he's not getting over the hurdle. No, he can't go over the hurdle. Furibu is out on the Saturn! No! Of all the ways to go out on Stage 1! The crowd is freaking out! And that's how it ends. He just mistimed his jump and couldn't get over the hurdle. And just like that, Furibu's Ninja Warrior Roblox journey ends on the Saturn of all obstacles. That is heartbreaking. Before we wrap up Stage 1 this tournament, let's take a look at this tournament's
Robloxian spoiler.
Despite many competitors figuring out the jumping spider now, it continues to be a menace to society as it has taken out 17 competitors this tournament. But the ninja killer this tournament belongs to the Saturn, as it has eliminated 21, ranging from many well-known newcomers and regulars, as well as 4 veterans and the now retired all-star Faripu. This goes to show that even the biggest of hurdles isn't the only thing to get over. You hate to see well-known, respected competitors go out like that, but unfortunately, that's going to conclude Stage 1 this tournament. Despite the damage that Stage 1 has caused this tournament, we still have 21 competitors remaining, and will take on the second stage, 13 of whom will be doing so for their first time. And we've now set the record for the 3rd most newcomers clearing Stage 1, and the 4th most Stage 1 clears of all time on this course. Moving on to Stage 2 are 7 newcomers, 6 regulars, 7 veterans, and 1 all-star. This difficult stage consists of obstacles that will primarily test the competitor's speed and skill. Not much has changed on this stage since the last tournament, only replacing an all obstacle with a new, more difficult and more time-consuming one, and a new obstacle added altogether. It starts with a new cannonball drop submitted by Faripu, replacing the sliding jump rope. Jump onto the cannonball and ride it down the track, but be careful of the 3 drops awaiting, each one being higher than the last. Then it's on to the most infamous obstacle of Stage 2, the triple salmon ladder. Skill and control are key here. It's followed by the duo rope maze, where speed and control are essential. After that is the beam trenches, where control will be the highest test on this stage. Then it's a new addition to Stage 2, the collapsing steps, submitted by an epic Reshiram. 4 steps that will tilt down upon impact, so you gotta be quick and make sure you're facing in the right direction when jumping onto the next step, so this is where skill will be essential. It's then followed by the cable circuit, which is mainly about balance, and then followed up with the wall split, with the rule from the last tournament of only needing to push one of the walls being retained. And any competitor who can do all of that within 85 seconds without falling into the water will move on to Stage 3, where the most brutal obstacles on this course will await them. Let's find out who will be skilled and fast enough to conquer this stage by heading over to the welcome mat to greet the first competitor who will attempt Stage 2. Kicking off the second stage is newcomer Pete the Cat 1. He was the slowest competitor to clear Stage 1, let alone the slowest newcomer, but here he is on the second stage. He'll have 85 seconds as opposed to 100 in Stage 1, but of course with a couple of less obstacles. And as time starts, onto the cannonball drop, he'll be the first competitor to attempt it, and he's also going to be the first competitor to fail it. He was going too fast, couldn't get around to make the dismount, and is out on Stage 2. Next up is newcomer Free MMO Direct. He was the fastest competitor to clear Stage 1, and the only competitor to do with more than 20 seconds left. So we went from the slowest Stage 1 clear to the fastest. This tournament's honest, bro. Is that going to be a theme where like everyone who clears Stage 1 with the fastest time, the new Aussie bro, especially with Aussie bro, doesn't make it to Stage 2? I don't know. Could be. Anyways, on the triple salmon ladder, slips off the top of the second set, fails to catch onto the first set, and is out on the triple salmon ladder. Next up is veteran Sonic_DJs. who's making his third appearance on the second stage. He last reached this stage in Tournament 14, where he cleared the second stage. As for Stage 1 this tournament, he cleared with the third slowest time, just under 2 seconds. But that doesn't matter, because he's back on Stage 2 after so long. Let's see how he does, and hope he hasn't gotten rusty. On the cannonball drop, and he's struggling to get it moving. There he goes, now he's got it moving down the track. Surprise mid drop. Gets the dismount, he's past the cannonball drop. Gonna have to make up some time while here on the triple salmon ladder, which he fails to do. He couldn't get up to the top at that first set and is out on it. Alright, now we're on to newcomer NASCAR Zoom 44. He cleared Stage 1 with either the 13th fastest time or maybe the 9th slowest time. However you want to look at it. But anyway, here he is on Stage 2. Onto the cannonball drop. Got it going down the track. Gets the dismount, he's past it. And now for the triple salmon ladder. We've seen back-to-back competitors go out on this. Ooh, he's doing the side jump technique. Up until the third set, rightfully so, but he doesn't catch onto it, but he's back onto it. Can he get it this time? Yes, he will. And he's past it, and now on to the duo rope maze. He's gonna have to get through this pretty quickly if he wants to make up some time. Get through the first maze pretty quickly, and now for the second maze. Going quick on this, and that's good. Gonna have to be fast on this, and he's past it, and now for the beam trenches. Still got time to clear Stage 1. As long as he continues to get a good pace going, especially here on these beam trenches. And he's past it. He'll be the first competitor to take on the collapsing steps. And he has passed them with no trouble at all. Now for the cable circuit. Ooh, almost loses the balance on the first wire there. Catch on onto the second, almost loses some step again. Almost lost his balance. Gets the dismount, and now for the wall split. Clashing sounds. Can he get through this? Brett pushing through him quite nicely. Wow, he's pretty strong. And he cleared the second stage with 2.9 seconds left, becoming the first competitor this tournament to clear Stage 2. And for the second tournament in a row, we will see a newcomer in Stage 3. Did the side jump technique on the triple salmon ladder, which ended up working. But couldn't catch on to the third set of the triple salmon ladder on his first attempt, but did on his second. And made up for that lost time by going pretty quickly on the duo rope maze. Handled the collapsing steps with no trouble. And got through the wall split flawlessly and quickly. To punch his ticket to Stage 3. Well, after witnessing the first 3 competitors go out on the first 2 obstacles, we have one competitor who went past them and cleared the second stage. Not that we haven't seen runs like that before, but hey, that happens sometimes. But we still have many runs left to go, so let's continue. Next up is veteran G-Man 992421, who's making his second appearance on Stage 2. He last reached this stage in Tournament 18, where he went out on the beam trenches. Much like Pete being the first competitor to attempt the cannonball drop and fail it, G-Man was the first competitor to attempt the beam trenches and fail that. Now he is, after failing to reach this stage in the last 2 tournaments. Don't know why I had a temporary brain fart there. But anyway, he's making great work of the triple salmon ladder. As now for the duo rope maze. Have a bit of a struggle on it, but now he's got it going. On to the second maze. And he's past that. Now for the beam trenches. He failed this last time, can he beat it this time? Aside from getting a makeover, it's not different from how it was when he attempted it. Whatever. And he's past it. Now for the collapsing steps. Nailed Nailed that. Now for the cable circuit. Got 30 seconds left. Gets onto the first cable. And he fails to get a jump off the first cable to catch on the second. He's out on stage 2 again. And now we're on to another competitor who is attempting stage 2 for his first time. It is regular, fortunate as OP. He's now the first regular to attempt on this stage, this tournament. Let's see how he does on his first time. Starting with the cannonball drop. Struggling to get him moving. There he goes. Down the track it goes. Guess that with not too much trouble. And now for the triple salmon ladder. Getting through this nicely. And he's through the triple salmon ladder. Well done. Now for the duo rope maze. Getting through that quickly. I think this is the fastest pace anyone has so far on this stage, aside from G-Man. Got caught a bit near the end of the duo rope maze. Now for the bean trenches. And I think his pace is faster than G-Man, but I'm not too certain. Well, it doesn't matter, because he just wants to... I know he's just looking forward to getting past this stage. Granted, he can do so. He's past the bean trenches, and now for the collapsing steps. Oh, and he couldn't get a jump off the third step, and he's the first victim at the collapsing steps. Waited just a bit too long, and got dropped. And now we're on to veteran Tyler Roberts 928, making his second appearance on the second stage. He last reached this stage in Tournament 19, where he went out on the triple salmon ladder. The competitors to clear stage 1 in less than 10 seconds, he was the fastest of that bunch, clearing, just failing to beat the klaxon by 0.2 seconds. But that's irrelevant, because here he is, hoping to get his revenge on the triple salmon ladder. Fails to catch on third set, but he's getting through this quickly. And he is now past it. About the average pace of those who do it for their first attempt. But anyway, onto the duo rope maze. Gets through that really quickly. Well done. And he's past that. This is the fastest pace of any competitor so far on this stage. I highly doubt that's on Tyler's mind. He just wants to reach the end of stage 2 this tournament. This is already a personal best for him, so he's got that going for him. Ooh, almost goes on the collapsing steps, but he's past it. And now for the cable circuit. Still got 30 seconds left. And make sure he keeps his balance. Gets onto the second cable. And past the cable circuit. Now for the wall split. And he's just going to push one wall. That is allowed. And Tyler Roberts is going to clear the second stage with approximately 13 seconds left. Lucky 13. At least it is for Tyler. It wasn't enough that he conquered his nemesis from the last time he was on the stage, but he wanted to do better. And so he did by punching his ticket to stage 3. Now making his way to the starting platform is regular Bill X Ben. He was the slowest regular to clear stage 1. Hopefully that doesn't translate to stage 2 in terms of speed. Anyway, on a cannonball drop, here's the dismount. Now for the triple salmon ladder. And he slips right off the first set and he's out on it already. That was rather quick. Alright, now we're moving on to newcomer Dan Mario 24YT, the second slowest newcomer of stage 1. Let's see how he does on his first time in the second stage. Alright, first is the cannonball drop. That was a bit dangerous, but he's through it. Now for the triple salmon ladder. Climbing up this nicely and quickly. And he has passed it. Alright, now for the duo rope maze. There's G-Man watching him in the background. Dan just saw G-Man go out. And I guess is hoping to avenge him. He's through the duo rope maze, and now for the beam trenches. Speeding his way through this, but also being careful in the process. Oop. A little dangerous near the end, but he's through it. Now for the collapsing steps. Bit laggy, but he gets through that, supposedly. Now for the cable circuit. Onto the first cable. And he undershoots the transition to the second cable, and he's out in the cable circuit. Let's take a quick look at that. Might be a little hard to see, but if you look carefully on that first set, you can see it was starting to spin a bit out of control till just jumped a little bit too late and just slightly undershot the jump to the second cable. And he was doing so well up to that point. That's too bad. Alright, next up is Mr. Coolio, who's making his second appearance on the second stage. He last reached this stage in Tournament 7, where he cleared Stage 2. At that time, he was known as the Wizard's Dude. It's probably something I should have mentioned during Sonic's run, is that when Sonic cleared Stage 2 last time, he was known as the Sonic DJs. Even though their names are pretty similar, so it didn't really matter to bring it up that much. This name, on the other hand, is far different from the last one he was known as. And he, almost had to jump up to the third set. Just couldn't hang on, dropped back down the first set, but he still managed to hang on, and he's cleared the triple salmon ladder. And he's going quickly through the duo rope maze. Excellent way to make up for some of that lost time. And he's caught up on the second rope. Now he's got it going. He powers his way through the duo rope maze, and he's past it. And now he should have enough time to clear Stage 2. Granted, he can get past the beam trenches and the remaining obstacles with a fast enough pace. Down less than 30 seconds, and he's past the beam trenches, and now for the collapsing steps. And he's through that. And now for the cable circuit. Will he fall victim to it? Caught onto the second cable. And he's through it! Now for the wall split. He's also going to push just one side, which is allowed. The klaxon does sound. But Mr. Coolio, for the second time in his career and second appearance in a row, is going to clear the second stage. And he does so with approximately 5 seconds left. What a comeback. Had that brief slip up at the top of the triple salmon ladder, but managed to catch back onto the obstacle to give himself a second chance, and he made it count. Then he powered his way through the duo rope maze with incredible time, and still had more than enough time to punch his ticket to Stage 2. And even though this is only his second appearance on the second stage, he still has a perfect record on this stage. Welcome back, Braver. Alright, we're just about halfway through the second stage, and we have 3 competitors moving on to Stage 3. It's looking really good, so let's see how many of the remaining 11 can join these 3 in the third stage. Next up is veteran Tobiz12345, who looks like a guest. Rest in peace to guests. He's making his third appearance on the second stage. He last reached the stage in Tournament 19, where he went out on the triple salmon ladder. He first reached the stage in Tournament 17, where he went out on the spider flip. So if he can get past the duo rope maze, he'll achieve a new personal best. First, he's got to get there. Starting with the cannonball drop, which he's passed. Now for the triple salmon ladder. This is where he went out last time. Misses the transition to the third set. Catches on the first set. He's up it now, and he clears the duo rope maze. Climbed up that ladder really nicely. And now he's on the duo rope maze. Shouldn't be hard to get past this obstacle, but of course you can slip off this if you're not careful. If you try to put too much force into through the maze. Well, he's passed it now, so this is a new personal best, but he wants to do better. Onto the beam trenches. I think it's set, and he slips off halfway through the second set. And he's not only the first competitor of the beam trenches this tournament, he's the first competitor to go out on the beam trenches since Rob the Constraint Guy in Tournament 19. Next up is another Stage 2 first-timer, Yellow Mailbox. Not much else to say, just let's see how he does. Anyway, 85 seconds. Time begins, he's onto the cannonball drop. Being careful of this. Gets through it nicely. Now for the triple salmon ladder. Getting a good climb up it, and he's through it. Now for the duo rope maze. Getting through this one very quickly. Oh, I was struggling near the end of the first maze, but he's through it. And now for the second maze. Powering his way through it, and being careful in the process. And he's through that, and now for the beam trenches. He just saw Topaz go out on this. He doesn't want to see back-to-back fails on this obstacle. And he's through it, and now for the collapsing steps. Past that! Well done! Cable circuit. Bit dangerous approach on that, but he's through it. And he's onto the walls, but now he's got a lot of time left. He has a chance to get the fastest time on this stage. And he's going to do it right now with 20.1 seconds left, and that is currently the fastest time in Stage 2. Question is, will it stand? That question will be answered later, but right now we can just congratulate Yellow Mailbox on clearing the second stage. Now making their way to the start platform is newcomer Smokey Milford. Not just a newcomer Stage 2, but a newcomer on the course in general. Alright, 85 seconds for him. Let's see how he does. Cannonball drop. Handling it nicely. Almost slips off, but gets through it. And now for the triple salmon ladder. I'm repairing each jump. And it pays off through the triple salmon ladder. Now for the duo rope maze. Having a hard time getting the rope moving. Ooh. Almost lost his grip, but he's getting by. And he fails the duo rope maze? Oh, the rope got caught. That shouldn't count. Well, I guess Smokey's gonna get another... And he left, didn't he? Welp. Well, now we're moving on to a competitor who's no stranger to Stage 2, and is veteran Megag427UI. He last reached his stage on his debut in the last tournament, where he went out on the cable circuit. Let's see if he can get his revenge on it. Granted, he can get there. Starting with a cannonball drop, he quickly gets down this obstacle and beats it. That's the fastest anyone to clear the cannonball drop this tournament. Alright. He's climbing up the triple salmon ladder, and he's through it nicely. So far, he's got the fastest pace on this stage. And he's not stopping even on the duo rope maze. getting a bit caught up on it, but he's through the first maze and now for the second maze. And he's past it. Now for the beam trenches. And he missed the second jump on the first set, and he's the second competitor to fall in the beam trenches this tournament. Now we're on to newcomer Robbie Yates 123, who's making his debut on the second stage. Obviously. He was the fourth fastest newcomer to clear stage 1, and kind of around the middle of the fastest and slowest to clear stage 1. Anyway, gets a good swing off the cannonball drop and he's past it. Now for the triple salmon ladder. Getting through it, climbs up that ladder quickly. The gamer kind of slipped. Anyway, he's on to the dual rope maze. Bit dangerous there. Looks like he's gonna lose his grip. Ooh, barely catches onto the second row. He didn't get a good swing off the first maze, but he still managed to catch onto the rope. And blazes through the second maze on the dual rope maze, and he's past it. And now for the beam trenches. Getting through this nicely. Kind of slows down the third set of the beam trenches. And now he's through. And now for the collapsing steps. No problem for him. Now for the cable circuit. Around nicely. Catches onto the second cable. And he's past it. Now for the wall split. Still got a lot of time left. He's not going to have the fastest time, but he's likely going to have the second fastest time. Yes, he will. Clears the second stage with 15.8 seconds left. And for the first time since Tournament 7, we will see more than one newcomer on Stage 3. He quickly climbed up the triple salmon ladder, had a close call on the dual rope maze, slowed down a bit on the beam trenches, and somewhat on the cable circuit, but still managed to clear with currently the second fastest time on Stage 2. Well done to Robbie. He certainly wasn't going to get robbed of a Stage 2 clear. But Robbie wasn't the only one to have his way with Stage 2. The last of the newcomers to clear Stage 1, and the second fastest competitor to clear Stage 1, Longshot Arrow 77, took to the course, and he was doing well, up until the dual rope maze, where he struggled to get the rope to move. He eventually did, and just barely punched his ticket to Stage 3. While he currently has the slowest Stage 2 clear time, he's still moving on to Stage 3, marking this the first time since Tournament 2 where we will see 3 newcomers attempt Stage 3. Then the fastest regular to clear Stage 1, and the third fastest overall Stage 1 clear, Tyler DeRusso, took his shot at Stage 2. And he struggled at the very beginning. But after that, it was smooth sailing for him, aside from almost undershooting the jump to the third set of the triple salmon ladder. And he just barely beat the klaxon. But he still became the 7th competitor this tournament to clear Stage 2. And with that, we've now currently set the third most Stage 2 clears in a single tournament, which includes the most newcomers since Tournament 2, and the most regulars since Tournament 17. But there are still 4 competitors left to go. 2 of them are regulars, so we have a chance to tie the record for most regulars in Stage 3, a record which is currently held by Tournament 3. 1 more veteran, so we have a chance to see the most veterans in Stage 3 since the last tournament, and 1 All-Star. So we'll have a chance to see the most All-Stars in Stage 3 since Tournament 19. Too many record mentions this tournament. You guys don't care. You just want to see people either hit that red button at the end or make a complete fool of themselves. So let's get back into it. And now we're on to regular Akko. Name I'm not even going to bother pronouncing because I'm just going to mispronounce it anyway. And not even going to bother trying to get it correct. This guy. Let's see what he does on his first time in the second stage. 85 seconds. His time begins. Got quite the crowd watching him in the background. Aside from the ones who were messing around the collapsing steps. And Akko already having a hard time getting the cannonball drop to move, but he got it now. And gets the dismount just fine. On the triple salmon ladder. Making nice work of it. And he's past it. Well done. Now do a rope maze. And through this nicely. And he's past it. It's almost like a repeat of Kyler's run. Almost. You didn't get to see it here. Because I said so. Kind of taking his time on the beam trenches, but getting through them nicely. And he's past it. Now for the collapsing steps. And he doesn't get a good jump off the third step, and he's on the collapsing steps. What a shame. So we're not going to tie the record for the most regulars in Stage 3, as we're now on to the final regular of this stage, Leaf Stones. Finally earning his high number. 85 seconds for him. Cannonball drop, and this is a promising start as he's lagging on the cannonball drop, and ends up failing to dismount. Guess he ended up earning what the first letter of his name implies. I feel bad for him, but it's also kind of funny. Alright, now we're on to our second to last competitor of this stage. This is veteran Daniel Icewolf RBLX, making his 4th appearance on Stage 2, and his 3rd appearance in the row. Been reaching the stage ever since Tournament 19. Last time here, he cleared Stage 2. Let's see if he can do it again twice in a row. Make quick work of the cannonball drop, and now climbing up the triple salmon ladder. Having no trouble with this. He's up it. Now for the duo rope maze. Getting through this nicely. Past the first half. Bit of a struggle with that transition, but as long as he gets by, it doesn't matter. And he does so. Now for the beam trenches. Bit of a laggy attempts on it. Rather, it seems to be laggy every time he makes a jump, for some reason. Anyway, collapsing steps now. Makes great work of that. Now for the cable circuit. Whoa! Bit out of control on that first one there, but still managed to catch on. Now he's on to the second wire. And he gets through it. Now for the wall split. He's not got the fastest time, getting at the second fastest time. Not quite, but he still currently has the 3rd fastest time, 15.3 seconds left. And for the 2nd tournament in a row, Daniel is advancing to Stage 3. Yeah, let's take another quick look at the cable circuit again. When he got onto it, he seemed to have propelled his way to the other side, and looked like he was either going to lose his grip or slip off, but somehow he managed to hang on, and still managed to transition to the 2nd set of wires. Nevertheless, Daniel once again survives Stage 2, and will be taking on the 3rd stage for the 3rd time in his career. Now we're on to the final competitor of Stage 2 this tournament. He's the only all-star to make it this far. Okay, time out. What's with this script? I mean, really? He's the only all-star to make it this far. Far. What's with these unintentional rhymes? I don't like this. Nobody likes this. How does this keep occurring when I'm doing commentary? Huh?
Quit your whining and continue the commentary.
I don't get paid enough for this We're moving on to the only all-star to make it this far. It is an epic reshiram. Like Daniel, he's also making his 4th appearance on the 2nd stage. Last tournament, he reached the stage, and he cleared the 2nd stage. Yep, 2 of the final 5 competitors of this tournament are taking on the 2nd stage for their 4th time. The other 3 made it stage 2 more times than both an Epic and Daniel, but none of them are on the stage, so gotta focus on the only 2. Starting with an Epic well, not exactly starting with an Epic Reshiram, but, you know, he's the only all-star to get here. Anyway, yeah, had a little trouble on the Triple Sim, but he's up it now. And now he's onto the duo rope maze. Being a bit cautious, because he knows he can easily slip off if he's not careful. Past the first maze. Getting through this kind of quickly, but also making sure he's careful. Past that now for the beam trenches. Past the first set nicely. Past the second. And past the third. Now to take on the collapsing steps. Surely he's not going to fail on his own obstacle, right? I thought so. You thought he was going to fail at all, you freaking doubters. Alright, let's see how he does on the cable circuit. Saw Daniel just barely survive this obstacle, but Inevis not going to have any trouble with this. He has got a little trouble with the time limit, but it's not going to matter because he should still have enough time to get through these. Granted, he can get past the wall, which he's having no problem doing. And of course, an Epic Reshiram for the 3rd tournament in a row is going to move on to stage 3. And now you see why he's an all-star, because while he's not going particularly fast, he's a perfect example of slow and steady wins the race. Even though I always say can win the race, but I digress. After the conclusion of Stage 1, we've cut to the competitor list by nearly 80%. And now after the conclusion of this stage, we've cut that number by just over half. Besides the wall split, every obstacle on this stage has taken out at least 2 competitors this tournament, although the one fail in the duo rope maze is debatable. That said, the triple salmon ladder continues to be the biggest threat on Stage 2, as it has eliminated 3. Still a small number by comparison to the previous tournaments, but still more than the other Stage 2 obstacles. Despite the chaos on this stage, we still have 9 competitors moving on to Stage 3, which is still currently the 3rd most competitors in Stage 3. Advancing to Stage 3 are 3 newcomers, 2 regulars, 3 veterans, and 1 all-star. Stage 3, the stage that consists of the 8 most brutal obstacles on this course. Speed will not be a factor on this stage, but rather it's more about control, skill, and confidence. Much like Stage 2, only a couple changes have been made to this stage from the last tournament. The first change being a new obstacle, Cubic Chaos, no relation to the Cubic Chaos on Irish Warrior, submitted by Fluffy Tails 2011, and replacing Cycling Road. 6 cubes of varying size and placed at different angles where you'll need excellent skill and precision. The second and final change on Stage 3 is the horizontal propeller bars, being redesigned from the last tournament, but it functions just the same, requiring precision. After that, everything else is the same. The V-boards requiring skill and control, then the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger, the biggest test of control, skill, precision, and confidence on this stage. After that is the Swing Circle, where control is the prime factor, followed by the Limited Ascent, where you mainly need skill, then followed by Trust Junction, where control and skill are more essential, and it's all wrapped up by the Bar Dropper, where you'll need to push your skill and confidence beyond your limit to get the bar to the end of the track and make the final leap of faith to punch your ticket to Stage 4. Like before, there's no time limit on this stage, but competitors are only allowed 30 seconds to rest in between obstacles. Last tournament, 2 competitors came close to reaching the goal. Can anyone do so this time around? We'll soon find out. Let's head down the stairs to greet this batch of competitors who are hoping they have what it takes to conquer the most difficult stage on the course and get this party started. Kicking off the third stage is newcomer NASCAR Zoom 44. He zoomed his way through stages 1 and 2. See if he can continue that and zoom through stage 3. He'll become the first competitor to take on the new Cubic Chaos. Hopefully he won't become its first victim. Let's just see how he does. Alright, he's starting now. Here's a cube and undershoots the jump to the third cube, and he has become the first victim of Cubic Chaos. And it seems that this NASCAR fan has run out of gas. Next up is Tyler Roberts 928, making his first appearance on the third stage. He was the first veteran to clear stage 2. Now he'll be the first veteran to take on stage 3. He's being the second competitor to clear stage 2. Anyway, let's see how he does. It's on to Cubic Chaos. He saw NASCAR zoom approach this, almost undershoots the jump to the second cube. As the jump that NASCAR failed, he catches onto the third cube. And onto the fourth one now. On the fifth. Gets the hardest jump and he's beaten Cubic Chaos. First competitor to defeat it. Now for the horizontal propeller bars. Getting through these quickly and nicely, not stopping at all, and he's past the horizontal propeller bars. Going straight for the V-boards, not going to break at all, and he ends up bouncing off the second board after going a little too fast. Couldn't get a good grip on that board. We're now on to the first Stage 3 veteran this tournament, Mr. Coolio. Who looked like he was ready to head up the stairs, but now he does, and he's hesitating again. Anyway, he last reached this stage in Tournament 7, where he went out on Trust Junction, and was then known as the Wizards Dude. Now he is back after so long. Of course, it's been a little while since he last competed, before turning in the last tournament, but anyway. Alright, starting with Cubic Chaos. Taking it slow and steady. And he's backing off again. Is he afraid of this stage or something? Good grief. Well, he ends up undershooting the jump to the second cube, so maybe that's what the hesitation was for. In any case, he's out early on stage 3. Well, now we're moving on to regular Yellow Mailbox. We've been putting on quite a performance on this tournament. Let's see if we can keep it going. First time on stage 3, let's see if we can make it count. Got Aussie Bro and Locke and an Epic watching. Don't ask how I know about an Epic. You probably saw Locke fly just a few seconds ago. Alright, on to Cubic Chaos, and he doesn't even get a jump off the first cube, and he's out already. And that was anything but a good performance. Alright, well now we're moving on to the fastest newcomer of Stage 2, Robbie Yates 123. Let's hope he can do better than the previous two competitors. Alright, he's gonna start with Cubic Chaos. And he's ready to go, Cubic Chaos, and he rushes the obstacle, and because of that, he undershoots the jump to the second cube. This doesn't look good. Despite seeing the most competitors in Stage 3 this tournament since Tournament 7, it is so far proving to be the worst third Stage 3 since Tournaments 15 and 16. Yet no one has reached the cliffhanger, and we've now seen 3 consecutive fails on Cubic Chaos, and none of those 3 have been able to get to the second cube. The one who did still went out on the new obstacle, while the other who did ended up falling on the V-boards. Well, there are still 4 competitors left to go this tournament, including 2 of the top competitors who got to this stage last tournament. So, hopefully this won't end up being the first tournament to end on Stage 3 without anyone reaching the cliffhanger since Tournament 1. Here we are now with Longshot Arrow 77, who is the second fastest Stage 1 clear, and ironically, the slowest Stage 2 clear. Well, that doesn't matter because here he is in Stage 3 for his first time. And his first time in the course in general. But anyway, let's hope he can do better. He's actually pretty skilled in Halo jumping. Okay, will it translate to Roblox jumping? No, it won't! At least not on his first attempt. After all that prep time, he doesn't even get a jump off the first cube. Hate to see it. Can't anyone besides Tyler get past Cubic Chaos? Furthermore, can someone not fail to jump to the second cube? Besides Tyler and NASCAR? Well, let's see if this next competitor can do just that. Regular Kyler DeRusso. Finally cleared Stage 1 for the first time in his career, and made it to Stage 3 for the first time as well. Anyway, takes some time preparing, and now he's onto the second cube. Cubic Chaos gets onto the third, onto the fourth, now for the hard jump, gets that, and he is past Cubic Chaos with not much trouble. Might have looked up like a bit of a close call, but he handled it no problem. Now for the horizontal propel bars. And he knows how this obstacle functions. The longer on the bars, the slower they will swing, and eventually they'll start to disorient, make it a little more difficult for you to get past this obstacle. But he's having no trouble with this, and he's not going to rush it like Tyler did. He's going to take his time preparing the jumps, which is a good idea, but, you know, don't want to wait too long, and he's past it. Now for the V-boards, and he doesn't manage to get a jump onto the other side of the first board. The second competitor to go out on the V-boards. Had no trouble with Cubic Chaos, but not so fortunate on the V-boards. Okay, so my eyes weren't deceiving me, and Tyler getting past Cubic Chaos wasn't a fluke after all, as both he and Kyler proved it can be done. Let's see if our next competitor can do the same. It is Daniel Icewolf RBLX, making his third appearance on the third stage. He last reached the stage in the last tournament, where he went out on Cycling Road. First time he reached the stage was in Tournament 17, which was also the first time he ever cleared Stage 2. Stage 1 and Stage 2. Anyway, it's on to the first obstacle now. He definitely wants to get revenge on this, even though this is arguably more difficult than Cycling Road. But anyway, he's got to the third cube, makes the jump to the fourth one, pausing his time, made the hard jump to the fifth cube, gets past the 16th past Cubic Chaos. Now if he can get past the horizontal propeller bars, he'll achieve a new personal best. You know, Tournament 17 he went on the second obstacle, which at time was the Six Flags. Long gone, but not forgotten. Anyway, he's not going to rush it like Tyler and Kyler did. He's actually going to take his time on it. Well, actually, Kyler did kind of take his time in this obstacle, so I guess Daniel isn't rushing like Tyler did. But he gets to rush the third bar, and he's past horizontal propeller bar, so no matter what, this is a personal best for Daniel. But you know, he wants to do better than that. He wants to get further along the stage and hopefully beat it. He's onto the V-boards now. No one has gotten past this obstacle so far. Both Tyler and Kyler went out. We got a bit farther than Tyler did, so he's currently in first place. Handling the V-boards nicely, and he has passed it. First competitor of this tournament to get past the V-boards, and now the first to take on the cliffhanger this tournament. Can he get past it this time? Well, it's his first attempt on it ever, but anyway. Doesn't seem to be having trouble with it. Alright, can he handle that last jump? Yes, he does. He's caught onto it. Can he get the jump to the other side? 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 He's caught onto it. And Daniel has defeated the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. Despite this being his first attempt on the cliffhanger, he didn't have any trouble with it. He probably put in a lot of practice for this obstacle, and if he did, it showed. Now Daniel's halfway past the third stage, and now he's onto uncharted territory. Alright, now he's got to face the swing circle, got to get some good swings on each of these rings. It's a lot like the wing nuts, except they're more difficult to maintain your balance on. And arguably more difficult to get good swings on them. The biggest difference between the wing nuts and the swing circles is that you're timed on the wing nuts, while on this one, you're not. Anyways, onto the final ring. Can he catch onto the rope ladder? He will! And he's out. He couldn't get over the rope ladder, and he's out between the swing circle and limited ascent. I really had a loss for words. He tried to go around, but he didn't. Missed it, and he fell. That's it. He's out. Well, on the plus side of things, Daniel has achieved a new personal best. But now we're on to the last man standing. This will be the second consecutive tournament in which he'll be entering Stage 3 as the last man standing. Can he avenge his 99 fallen comrades and get to the final stage? We're about to find out. And here he is, at Epic Reshiram, the last man standing. He's also the only all-star to clear Stage 1 this tournament, and I guess by extension Stage 2. This is his third consecutive appearance on the third stage. Both previous times he went out on the cliffhanger. Now he feels confident he can get past it this time around. Let's see if he can. This is his first tournament where he's competing as an all-star, and boy, is he showing. Is it showing? I'm just trying to say that he's proven he deserves that rank. Anyway, getting past Cubic Chaos without too much trouble. Handles that hard jump on the 5th cube. Taking his time to prep for the 6th one. Almost undershoots it, but he's past it and past Cubic Chaos and going straight for the horizontal propeller bars, but pausing before advancing even further. Whether that's wise or not remains to be seen. And anyway... Rushes the third bar just like Daniel did. He's passing, going straight for the V-boards. Not going to break at all, just going straight forward. Although he is taking his time preparing each jump. Alright. And for the third tournament in a row, he gets past the V-boards and will attempt to cliffhanger for a third consecutive time. Will it be third time's the charm for him? Going on it kind of slow compared to how he was the previous two times. Guess he really wants to get past this obstacle but not want to go out sooner than the jump he failed the last two times. Which is this jump right here. Can he get it this time? Yes, he does. He catches onto it. But he's not past the cliff to it. But he's not past the cliff. He does. He catches onto it. But he's not past the cliffhanger yet. Makes the 180-degree jump. And he has beaten the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger. An epic Reshiram. He failed that specific jump in the last two tournaments, but this time he not only made it, but also made the hard 180-degree jump to defeat the Mega Incline Crazy Cliffhanger for the first time in his career. Looked like he was going to go straight for the swing circle when he got to this point, but then backed off. and is hesitating before he attempts it, because he doesn't want to make a mistake on this obstacle. Anyway, Tag is onto it now. Gets a pretty good swing off the first ring. Now I just gotta do that 3 more times. Onto the second ring now. Alright, onto the 4th ring. Can he catch onto the rope ladder? Yes, he will. And now he's gonna slowly walk around it rather than try to jump around it. That's ended up being Daniel's downfall, and he didn't want to make the same mistake. Get past the limited descent very quickly, and now onto Trust Junction. He's gonna climb up that first trunk to make the jump to the second one, and do the same for the second, and catches onto the third. He knows he can't make that trick work onto the 4th one. He survived the drop, and now he's onto the bar dropper. Last tournament we saw 2 competitors take on this obstacle. Both went out on the last jump. And now an epic will hopefully make it 3rd time's the charm for people who reach this version of the bar dropper. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, he's pushing it slowly. That is why, because if he tried to rush the bar, it can derail, and he would most likely fail. So he's taking his time, moving it down the track. And he's got to make sure he straightens it up as well, because it's very easy to derail the bar. Got a very steady pace going. Doing big of a back and forth motion to just enough where he can move the bar, but not swing back and forth too much to where he'll slip off the bar. He's got to make sure he straightens up as it approaches the drop. Remember, if it's uneven when he approaches the drop, he can also fail that way and derail the bar that way. Alright, he's approaching the drop. He's got to make sure that it's as even as it can. Alright, he's getting close now. Whoop. Survived the drop. The right side was a little uneven, but it was still enough to where he could still catch on to the second track. And now he can apply a little bit of force to the end, which he does. He's at the end of the track now. What method he's going to go for? Is he going to go for the top of the bar? It looks like it. Nope, he's going to go for the very edge, the front. That's fine, but he's got to make sure that it's as close to the track as possible. That ended up being the downfall of Excess Saturn King. He's onto it now. And he has done it! An epic Reshiram has cleared the 3rd stage! The first competitor since Look 1456 to advance to the final stage! Yes! The only All-Star to reach this point, and he has more than proven that he rightfully deserves that rank. Yes! It all started by handling the ninja killer of this stage, Cubic Chaos. Then he ended up being 3-0 against the V-Boards, and finally conquered his nemesis from the last 2 tournaments, and take it a step further by getting through the rest of Stage 3. He felt confident he could do it this time, and he has done so. Looked a little uneasy at times on the bar dropper, but he continued to fight on, survived the drop, reached the end of the track, carefully placed the bar as near the end of the track as possible, and he went for the forward end of the bar, which is allowed, and just barely made the jump, but it was still enough to punch his ticket to the final stage, and an epic Reshiram is now the first competitor since Look 1456 in Tournament 14 to advance to Stage 4. It's not over yet. The tournament must continue. we're not done yet. The last man standing stood up and cleared the third stage. We haven't gotten to this point in 7 tournaments. It is now time for the tower. The final stage tower. A 29-meter climb composed of 2 obstacles. We haven't seen this stage be attempted since Tournament 14, when it was first attempted by veteran Look1456. Since then, it has continued to loom over the course, awaiting the next competitor to accept the challenge to become champion. Aside from the obvious makeover, it's not much different from the last time this was attempted. It does have 2 major differences, but before I mention what those differences are, first, the obstacles. It begins with the 16-meter orb climb. 21 waist-sized orbs, each getting higher than the last. You need precise jumps on each of the orbs, because even one slip could end it all. But that proves to be more difficult when time is not on your side, because if you take too long with these jumps, you won't have enough time to scale the 13-meter G-pole. Watch your step, because on the way, the path changes, so you'll need to react quick enough to prevent sliding down the pole. After all, you're no firefighter. Not around here anyway. The first major change is the pole has been raised a bit, making the transition between the 20th and 21st orb much easier, so you don't bump your head on the bottom of the pole, as that was one of the reasons Look failed on his final stage attempt. But of course that means the jump from the top of the orb climb to the bottom of the G-pole is more difficult. The second major change is the time limit. When Look took on this stage, the time limit was 45 seconds. This time around, 5 seconds have been taken off the timer, making the time limit now 40 seconds. Since these obstacles have been accessible for practice in the Ninja Warrior Roblox training camp, it seemed right to lower the time limit. And Epic does have quite the crowd cheering him on, but because I'm an inconsiderate prick, I forgot to record their reaction to seeing an Epic about to make the climb of his Ninja Warrior Roblox career. He's the 16th different competitor to have the privilege of climbing this tower, but now we're about to see if he can become the 8th competitor to press that bright red button awaiting at the top in time. This will likely be the most intense 40 seconds of his life, and it will begin the instant those lamps beside him light up. It's just about time. And that's it! Lamps lit up and he begins his climb. Bit of laggy performance, but he still seems to be doing well. Doesn't seem to stop him at all. Going at a very quick pace. Gotta watch it. His orbs do get hard. Oh, he slipped! He's dropped several orbs down. Oh man, that's really gonna hurt his time. His time is halfway down, but he's getting close to the top of the orb climb. Even though it's orb ladder, I changed it last minute because it sounds weird. But he's on the G-pole, he's on 15 seconds. He's really speeding up this pole! Oh my goodness, that's the fastest I've seen anyone clean an obstacle like this. Aside from Boom Fisher Touring Tournament 11. Oh my god, he's gonna be close. He's actually close to the top. And Epic! No! He was right there! He actually made it to the top of the tower before his time expired, but just couldn't press the button in time. There he had it. He started off doing really well, climbing up those orbs at a really quick pace. Now you see about 2/3 up, he slipped and dropped down about 7 or 8 orbs. He still caught on to the obstacles, so he was still have to continue his climb. But I think that one slip is what did him in. When he got to the G-pole with around 15 seconds left, he sped up it, and he did have a slip up there as well, But aside from that, he went really fast up that pole and he could have had a chance. And if you look real closely at the time, he actually did reach the top of the tower with less than a second left, but he couldn't hit the button in time. And the tournament ends with an epic, timing up just shy of total victory. It was within his grasp, but it just wasn't meant to be this time. That is heartbreaking. It was still a great performance, even though it sucks to see him go out like that. At least now this should give us faith that this stage can not only be reached again, but that someone can defeat it in the time given. And as you can see, the crowd is happy for him for at least getting this far and being the first competitor since Look 1456 in Tournament 14 to even attempt the final stage. And now an Epic's become the new man to beat, as he has gone further in this era than any other competitor. And of course they're going to celebrate by tossing him into the water. And I think it's time we ended on that note. And with that, the 5th year anniversary tournament of Ninja Warrior of Roblox has reached its end. 100 competitors stepped up to accept the challenge of taking on the 4-stage obstacle course. And while it has its ups and downs, namely Asubro once again being beaten by Stage 1 for the second tournament in a row, and the retirement of Faribu. It also has its ups, as we saw 21 competitors clear Stage 1, 9 of those 21 clearing Stage 2, and 1 of those 9 clearing Stage 3 for the first time since Tournament 14. Take a shot for every time I've mentioned that. Rest in peace. But at the end of the day, all 100 were defeated by the course for the 17th time. However, the success this tournament has produced will likely spark the interest of future newcomers to take their shot at the course to hopefully start the new batch of All-Stars and inspire all current competitors to do better next time and leave their mark on the course. That's definitely something to look forward to next time, as well as seeing some fresh new faces from various platforms, returning faces whom we haven't seen in a while, and of course, new challenges the course has to offer. But until that time comes, I first want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank everyone who ran this course, and especially those who contributed. And if you enjoyed this tournament, then don't forget to leave a like. And if you want a chance to compete in a future tournament, then make sure you join the official Ninja Warrior Roblox Discord server, where you'll get all updates regarding future tournament dates, obstacles, how you can contribute, and more. Link is in the description. And don't forget to check out the NWoR Vault channel for the post-clear interviews of those not shown in this video, as well as other clips such as cut runs from previous tournaments, etc. You can also support me on Patreon to not only help keep this channel going, but also to check out the full runs of those fast-forwarded this tournament. Want to check out some of my other videos? Then click one of those boxes on screen, or the card on the top right for specifically more Ninja Warrior of Roblox related content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until next time, ciao peoples.